everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of Tales from Cazilor, the Golden Era. With me, I am joined by the main cast of the D&Dorks. If you are new here, allow me to introduce you. In the box to the right of me, we have our comic book connoisseur, Matt, aka Sir_Superhero. Below him, thank you. Below him, you will find our West Coast comic book connoisseur, Jay, aka the Panda Red.
I was about to say I'm very offended.
I had to give you both the same title. In the bottom right, we have Pokemon enthusiast and certified silly little guy, Mike, aka Mike Funny Boy.
I haven't done half of my gimmick in months. Hello.
Woo! And in the top right, the chaotic glue that holds this party together, we have Momo, also known as Momo is Carriot. All of these people make fantastic nerdy content on the internet at semi-regular times, and so you should all follow them if you aren't already.
I haven't posted in a week.
Now, this series is a prequel to the alternative hip-hop album Tales from Cazilor, written by yours truly. This album is not required listening by any means, but I assure you, your life will be a lot easier if you do go give it a listen. That said, let's not waste any more time and dive straight in to the opening monologue. The year is 233 AA. In the realm of the wild. 25 years before the time of the original album, we start this tale in none other than Cazilor itself. You see, Cazilor is a nation of mostly humans, nestled between two nations of giants. But these two giant nations are very, very different from each other. The nation to the northwest firmly and wholeheartedly believe that humans are parasites who need to be exterminated, and they have waged war on human life for almost 40 years. We call this nation Atraria, and its ruler is the infamous Toltag the Elder. Now, if it was just giants versus humans, we would all be long since dead. But thankfully, we have friends. Giant friends. Friends that live in the nation to the northeast, known as Estersol, ruled by Mount Sovereign Ginsey. Together, we created the Masmis, an elite fighting force that trained humans to fight giants. And in this day and age, we live in the golden era of the Masmis. We have never been stronger, and our futures have never looked brighter. And as we soar through mountains and forests and fields of Cazilor, we head all the way west into the city of Demeta. It's the city closest to the front line of the war, which makes it cheap living. And in this city, getting ready for work, is a soldier who is perhaps too smart for his own good. Matt, would you please introduce your character?
Yes. I am playing Adrian Baina, Captain Adrian Baina, more specifically. He is a soldier, as Nathan said, but he's not really a frontline active soldier as much. He is more of a researcher. He is an artificer specifically. He focuses in crystals, with his greatest achievement being the crystal snake named Amphis that can often be found coiling around his neck or body in some fashion. Adrian is an anchor. That's not something that you're going to know the context for yet, but you'll find out in this episode. That's something we've put a lot of work into. As for his appearance, he is a fairly average-looking man. He looks a little bit disheveled constantly. If you saw him in a crowd of people, you would think that he probably didn't get enough sleep last night. But he kind of looks like that every day. He is not a man who puts too much stock into his personal appearance, but he looks fine enough, and the work that he does typically makes up for that sort of thing.
Fantastic. You're getting ready for your day. What is the state of Captain Adrian Baina's apartment right
Okay,
now.
we're starting in the apartment, not his lab, because
Yes.
I would say they're very
Starting
different.
in the apartment.
His apartment is maybe not like the sort of messy, disheveled area that you would expect from him. It's actually super bare bones. You get the sense this is pretty much just where he like sleeps and gets ready. Most of his time is not spent here. It is spent at his lab, and this is kind of just something that he needs to sleep while not around various experiments. It contains the essentials, a few personal effects, and he doesn't really need much else to be there.
Amazing. And so you head out for yet another day's work out into the town. Demeta is one of the larger cities in Cazilor. It is hustling and bustling with merchants and vendors and just people going about their day, heading to their jobs. It's early morning right now. And as you walk through the streets, Captain Baina is kind of a people's guy, you know? You walk past your nearest vendor. It's probably some guy where you always get your fresh produce from. And he goes, "Hey, Captain Baina, how are you doing today?"
Oh, Baina gives her just a very polite, humble little wave, and he goes, "Oh, you know, the daily grind, working on experiments as usual. How are you? How's the store going?"
"I'm doing fantastic. Made most earnings I ever made in a month this last month, so we're doing great. Hey, if you needed more moon fruit, I got some in excess."
I have been craving some moon fruit lately. I might stop by on my way back from work if I am not there later than I expect to be, which sometimes I am. But you'll see me soon, I promise.
All right, yeah, we'll see. The day that Baina doesn't stay late at work is the day I'll close up shop.
Baina laughs with him, but in a very acknowledging way, like, yeah, that's true.
Stay out of trouble I assume this whole conversation happens as you're just kind of walking past each other.
Oh yeah, he's being friendly. He's still walking.
And you have a few more interactions like this of people. I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, Baina has like his daily routine that doesn't change. And so you walk past the same people every day, and you do it at the same time. And if you don't show up, people know. And they're like, "Oh, that's weird. Captain Baina with his cool little rope snake didn't walk by today."
Yeah, definitely. I'm just walking through the stalls. Yeah, interesting. I'm talking to the snake, which as I'm going, just kind of, if something interesting, I'm telling things to my little buddy, just having conversation. Snake doesn't talk back, but I think most people are probably used to that at some point. The snake understands me in some capacity because it listens to my commands. So I'm not a total whack job, but it is, maybe to anyone who doesn't know him, definitely a one-sided conversation.
Amphis, your snake, definitely likes to slither around on your body like a little jungle gym whenever you're going out and about. And eventually you make it to a military base sort of nearby the city of Demeta. As I said, the city of Demeta is very close to the front line of this war, so having military bases in this city is actually very advantageous. And you work at one of them as a captain of the Masmus. You kind of walk through, they got all these tents set up for various different purposes. Horses are all about. There's soldiers. It's peacetime right now, so the thing about a war that lasts a long time is it's not always just like constant, warfare. There's peacetime, and then there's like active time. And right now it's peacetime. It's been peacetime for, I'd say, a couple of years at this point. There hasn't been any major attack in some time. So all the recruits and the knights that are here are just on post and sort of on call if something were to pop off. And, doing their daily training and such. And you eventually make it to your workshop. Now, I would love to hear you describe what your workshop looks like.
It's the three sort of archetypes for scientist characters. They're either going to be a very minimalist place, a very messy place, or a very clean place. His house is the very minimalist one. His lab is somehow both of these at the same time. All of his personal effects are mostly stored here, and anything that is in regards to his personal life is just kind of strewn about everywhere very chaotically, which makes it probably look really messy when you first walk in. But if you actually take a look at everything, his personal stuff is messy. Anything that has to do with his experiments, meticulously ordered to a T in such a way that in the chaos of everything else, nobody else could find it. But he knows exactly where everything, if there's a specific crystal he needs, he probably doesn't even have to look in that direction. He can get it with his eyes closed, or more directly just like point, and then Amphis will stretch out, grab it for him, and pull it back.
Amazing. And as you walk sort of into your workshop, you're getting situated. What is, to the untrained eye, what does it appear that Captain Baina has been working on lately?
How untrained? Because to a super untrained eye, crystals. But to a more someone who's like at least somewhat familiar with crystal enchantments, he is putting crystals into other things in a similar way to what he's done with Amphis. Amphis, I haven't specifically described yet, but it is a normal looking rope with these purple crystals embedded along it, and then a knot at the end that's been specifically tied and crafted and cut to resemble the head of a serpent. And he's got like these little chunks of rope strewn across his desk, various crystals that he seems to be trying to embed in and enchant. How far along he is in that process, you couldn't really know, but it seems to be something related to the snake.
Got it. And just as you start to get sort of set up in your little shop to start another hard day's work, stepping out of the shadows, you hear a voice go, "Hello, Captain Baina."
I think Baina would probably have known if anyone was there because of I think Amphis, if this is cool with you, would have given him at least somewhat advance warning. It can be like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
But the second a shadow steps out of anywhere, Amphis is immediately locked onto it, which gives Baina enough warning. And I immediately, of course, look over, less surprised than you'd think because of my little warning system to see who went into my lab before me.
And you look behind you and you see a superior officer. You see
great.
a high blade. This is it is a woman with eyes that are not quite human, and you can tell that she is gifted because of this. She literally has the eyes of a hawk, and this is a tall, slender lady with very sharp features. Some might even say bird-like features. And she's as tall as you, and Baina's a tall guy.
Yeah.
And so she stands of equal height to you, steps out of the shadow, and goes, "Hello, Captain Baina."
Before I give his response, I want to shout out something with you, Nathan, for the audience, so they're clear. Just so you all know, no one in this call has seen any character art other than our own. Not NPCs, not the other party members. So any art that you see other than our own characters is just as much a surprise to us as it is to you, which is very exciting. You saw me lean into the screen when I saw this. But yeah, I think very subtly, but given Vera's eyes, probably noticeable to her, at seeing a commanding officer in his lab, you see his shoulders slump a little bit. His expression drops very much. Oh, God. Oh, hi, Blade Vera. To what do I owe the pleasure of your arrival this morning unannounced?
Oh, just, I guess you could say, checking up. How is the progress with your research going?
Oh, it's going well. I mean, as you can see over here, I don't know how familiar you are with the specifics of this enchantment, but this specific crystal in this specific cut, I found that if I entwine it with the rope like so, he's gonna just kind of go on like this until cut off, which I will save everyone the time for.
Yes. And she goes, I see. But you haven't, and she sort of steps up to your table as you're explaining this, and just incredibly tough person to read. Her facial expression doesn't change. And she just kind of glowers down at the table, very stoic, and goes, "So what I'm hearing is you haven't managed to recreate," and she looks over, her entire head moves to Amphis, and says, "recreate your little friend here."
Yeah, Amphis's eyes have not moved off hers this entire discussion. Baina's he's specifically avoiding her gaze at this point, though. And there's a nice pause. He goes, "I do think I'm getting close."
Getting close. I'm afraid we've been hearing that you've been getting close for months, Captain Baina. Unfortunately,
it's not true.
that is not the only reason I'm here. Are you aware what time of year it is?
If I say no, will that hurt my cause here?
I don't think there was any correct answer you could give, Captain. It is the month of Jacinth. The Tryouts are happening soon. Only the largest event in all of Cazilor, where wannabe knights far and wide come to Opulo to give it their all, just for a chance to be like me and you, to join the Masmus. Are you aware of this?
I know what the tryouts are, yes.
I would sure hope so.
Same as you.
Now, I'm here under military orders. The Warlord Assembly summoned me to go and, frankly, babysit you. And she hands you a military decree, a scroll. And you unfurl it. And it basically says, by order of the Warlord Assembly, you are required in the year 233 AA to attend the tryouts and form a squad and do your duties as a captain. And you're reading this, and Highblade Vera says, you are expected to create a squad this year, Captain Baina. The Masmus acknowledges everything you've done for the cause, your creation, or rather your revolutionization of the anchoring arrow was made an insurmountable change to the battlefield of the Masmus and tilted the scales in our favor. We acknowledge that. The Warlord Assembly acknowledges that. And we acknowledge that the death of your friend Asher Platt took a heavy toll on you. That is not something to scoff at. But at the end of the day, Captain Baina, you are a captain who has never led a squad. That is what captains do. And you are a government employee. You're getting paid by the government. You understand that, yes?
Yes.
So you will be expected to conduct these duties. And if you would like to direct your eyes to the bottom of that page, it will say how you will be reprimanded if you do not carry out this.
It's gonna look at the bottom of the page.
Yeah, you'll get discharged. No more paycheck, no more. And it says discharged, parentheses, potentially dishonorably.
There's definitely a slight rattle from the end of Amphis's tale as he reads that. Oh, seems like you've really covered all your bases and not left me many options here, Vera, but... He pauses again, clearly trying to think of a way out of this very fast, which does not seem to be successful. And he kind of keeps talking slowly as if to stall to give himself more time to think of that. But I suppose if my presence and leadership of a squad in this year's tryouts, fine, yes, I'll go. I don't think this is a good idea, for the record, but fine.
We acknowledge that. Now, unfortunately, the tryouts are in just a few days. There's a carriage waiting outside. You will not be doing any research today. Come with me. And she leaves.
He just kind of sweeps a couple crystals into his bag at his side.
Baina!
And looks at Amphis and fine! And then she follows.
It is a few days' travel to Opulo from Demeta by horse-drawn carriage.
That's a fun trip.
And you are chaperoned by none other than a superior officer and nothing else. But we won't put the audience through having to suffer that. We will
You don't want to hear one-sided conversations with a construct snake for days?
We will just sort of fast forward to the actual day of the tryouts. We head to the city of Opulo. Opulo is the capital of Cazilor. It is the home of the ruler of Cazilor, the Prime Warden. It is also the home of the Colosseum, where the tryouts are held. The tryouts, to use a reference to our real world, are like the fucking Olympics. But it happens every year. And so people go fucking cuckoo bananas over the tryouts. They love this shit. Patriotism is huge in Cazilor because when there's a war being waged on whether or not you deserve to exist, you get kind of into it, you know? And so people love to come out. It's like a beacon of hope every single year. Now, Opulo is about as city-like as you can get in a fantasy setting. There are apartments that are multiple stories high. There's obviously the Colosseum. There are the streets. The streets, especially during this sort of festival that's going on, are fucking stacked to the brim with people. And just outside the Colosseum, and I'll put up some art that we have here, just outside the Colosseum, there is a family sitting down eating food at a local vendor. Mike, would you like to introduce your character?
I certainly would. Sitting with his family, his very normal family, is a young lad with white and blue hair. There are kind of blue spots in his hair. I'd say what it's mimicking, but maybe that's a little bit of a spoiler. He's dressed in, well-to-do clothes, maybe a little bit more on the nerdy side, because this is Argentum R.G. Scritori, son of the Scritori family, famous news publishers within Opulo, and a hopeful Maximus recruit, alongside his twin sister, Ari. And both RG and Ari are blessed. No, blessed and gifted.
Blessed and gifted. And we will find out what that means soon enough. You guys are sitting at this vendor. As you can see, the artwork is a little bit hidden right now because we can't reveal everything just yet. But you guys are sitting at this vendor. Your grandpa is there. Your mom, your dad are there. If you want, Cooper and your younger brother Adam can also be there. And also, if you would like to just describe, you don't have to describe them all in detail, but maybe just the general vibes that you get from all of them that are sitting with you.
You say we're seated outside the Colosseum?
Yeah. So this Colosseum scene, this is pretty much your view from the vendor's shop.
I would say the atmosphere is pretty tense. I think it would just be RG and Ari, considering their Maximus training evaluation essentially is coming up. So
Yes.
we're probably coming out to scope the place out. And everyone's kind of leery of each other, kind of like side-eyeing Grandpa because he's very much the driving force between a lot of the ambition within this family. So it's a tension of no one wants to break in and say the first word because it feels that conversation could get volatile.
Yes. And as you're all all you hear is like obviously the sounds of the crowd, and you hear Grandpa just chowing down on some Estersol sushi, like is the good shit. We're close to Opulo, which is close to Estersol, and that is like the sushi export of the world, man. And he is chowing down, and he kind of goes like, and looks over at both of you, RG and Ari, the twins, and swallows his food. You kids nervous?
Like a normal amount of nervous, like not like a performance impeding amount of nervous, but yeah, it's pretty nervous. And he's poking at his lunch.
And you see Ari goes, "Nope, not at all, Gramps. I feel great." And Grandpa goes, atta girl. What's got you so stuffed up there, Argy? You got nothing to be nervous about. The amount of training that we have done, you will be the most well-prepared person in the entire tryouts.
Yeah. And we're prepared. I'm sorry if this is like forward, but are you looking for like a first place in this whole thing, or is it cool if we both make it? I don't know where I'm gonna place. Is there a rubric for success going into this?
Argy, you don't always need someone to tell you what to do, you know. But if you insist, as long as you get into the Masmus, that's fine by me. But you are expected. It is necessary for you to not only perform physically out there today, but perform. You know what I mean? You gotta put on a show. Use that gift of yours. You too, Ari. You gotta get out there and really show them what you're made of. Do you know how many captains and high blades and commanders are gonna be sitting in those stands? They're here to look for people like you. And they're gonna choose the people based on their skill level. So yeah, you could skate by. You could just get in. Or you could be remembered.
Well, I was actually kind of like thinking about that, and I thought it would be kind of an interesting sort of brand, an interesting sort of narrative if I didn't use the gift, and then people would be like, "Oh my God, we read his stats in his file coming in, and he passed without even using his gift, but we know he's gifted." That's like, and they'd be like double, it's just throwing it out there, just a pitch, sort of a story pitch.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Okay, yeah, that's great. I think that's gifted is, and it will be a gifted and spirited performance.
Absolutely. You will be using your gift, and you will be using it to your full extent. You need to show everything that you can do to really impress these cats. Okay?
It will be done, Gramps.
Ari kind of nudges you and goes, I told you shouldn't have even brought it up to him.
Well, it's about trying, It's like, not going to do it without permission.
Yeah, of course not. You don't do anything without permission. Okay? Listen, when we get out there, you got to give it your all. None of this hesitation shit, okay? You're always so scared all the time.
Yeah, crazy how that is the case. I wonder why that is.
Whatever, dude. Just get it together, okay? And don't eat the fucking sushi. It upsets your stomach. And she knocks, your fork out of your hand. Well,
go great.
I think it's going to be a great day. And Grandpa kind of stands up. Are you, I don't know if you clarified, is the rest of your family there with you?
Mom and Dad would be there. Cooper and
Adam.
Why did I call him Dave? He's not Dave. Adam are not there.
Okay. Grandpa sort of stands up and goes, well, I think it's going to be a great day. He tosses an insurmountable amount of money at the vendor. Doesn't even ask how much it was, just gets up and starts to leave. And he gets up and goes, now listen, Argy, I know you get cold feet. My best tip I can give for you is to get over it. Ari, you're going to do fantastic. I already have faith in that. Don't forget to do your tolerance training tonight. That's going to be very crucial. And I assure you that even though I won't be able to guide you while you're out there, like I have been for all these years, I will still be able to do my best to help. And he kind of punches your shoulder a little too hard and goes, you'll see what I mean later. It'll make sense in a little bit. All right, let's get out of here. I got a gambling session to get to with my boy.
Which boy? RG sister. Do you know what boy he's talking about? Which boy?
I don't know. Maybe could be Frederick. They're always out playing cards. Does it really matter?
I didn't think he like had boys, like a social life or anything. So like,
I think they're all his employees. And so they just kind of have to.
hey, what do you think he means by like that helping out thing?
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's just turning senile. I think maybe he thinks his aura will help us or something. I don't really get it. And as Grandpa leaves, your parents stay behind just for a second. And they kneel down to you, your mother and your father. And your dad kind of meekishly goes, Archie, man, hey, no matter what Grandpa says, just go out there and try your best, okay? We'll be proud of you no matter what.
You know, I don't know if I can do this. I mean, we've got the tolerance training and everything, but
Your mother steps up and goes, RG, you may be small, but you are mighty. You can do anything you set your mind to. Just try your best. We believe in you, kiddo. You too, RG.
Thanks.
Or you too, Ari. And Grandpa shouts out, kids! We're gonna be late. We only took one carriage. And everyone heads out. You take a carriage around the Coliseum to an entrance just for contestants. Your parents will have to meet up with you later because this day is just for the physical exam. So they got all the physical exams to run through today. And then tomorrow is the mock combat. And that's where family comes in. The entire population of Cazilor tries to squeeze their way through the doors to watch this shit go down. But notably, nobody knows, every year, nobody knows what the mock combat is going to be like until it's there. You guys head up this huge stairway leading up to the Coliseum, and there's like a long line of contestants. All of these people look like they're in the best shape of their fucking life. Like girls, guys. You see some older people here too. The thing about the tryouts is you're able to try out as soon as you turn 18. And if you don't get accepted, you can try again every single year. And so you got some people coming here, you can tell it's like they're maybe 12th dip at this, you know? Like they're really trying to, because in Cazilor, there is something called a crank. A crank is something you do not want to be. A crank is someone who is born blessed and doesn't fulfill the duties of society by joining the Masmus or joining the church. And so if people don't join the church, they got to join the Masmus because everybody knows they're blessed. And if they don't, they'll be fucking socially outcast, called a crank, and never get anywhere in life. Right? And so you'll see some people here who have clearly been going at it to ensure that they're trying to fulfill the duties as best they can. You get to the front of the line, and there is an old woman sitting at a desk, and she goes, name?
Argentum Scritori, Argy, short for Argentum. If you don't want to.
Yeah, all right. And you, that's your name? She goes, Aurum Scritori, or Ari. Blessed and gifted, preferred squad role, anchor. And she goes,
also blessed and also gifted and preferred squad role, I think would be climber.
All right. She writes it down. Scritories, huh? Like the daily scrits?
Yeah. Huh. That's our grandpa.
Interesting. And she kind of leans down under her desk and grabs something. And she goes, this envelope's for you two. It's got your schedule for the weekend and your room number. Thank you. Yeah, good luck. Next!
Well, can I ask why and if we're being carted off his whole time, it's
no,
okay. But...
no, get a move on.
Well, okay, it's okay. You just mentioned our paper, but okay.
And if you open up that envelope,
Yes.
and look inside, there is, in fact, a schedule for the weekend. It has your specific physical exam times. You have a bunch of shit to do. So it's going to take like all day periodically, so you have to like go run a mile. You have to do like strength training in front of someone. And there's like proctors there watching you and taking notes and filling all out the stuff, everything for the combat tomorrow. So when the captains are watching and such, they can see your stats, basically. And also in there is your room number. It's room 1024. And also there's something else. A little note.
Oh.
And if you unfold it and you read it, it says, tomorrow's combat. Rescue. Squads of 4. Love, Grandpa.
Oh, I don't like that I read that in advance. That's against the rules.
What are you talking about? RG, what is that?
RG shows her the paper slip without
Takes
saying anything.
And she immediately crumples it up and shoves it in her pants and goes, just don't mention it. This is good for us.
Yeah, but it's like bad that it's good for us. Because like it's not supposed to be.
RG, in this world you got to do anything to get ahead. And we just got it. Thanks to Grandpa. Let's find our room.
Okay.
And as we see you guys walking down the hallway, we head back outside. Actually, I'll keep this image up. We're a little bit of a ways away. We see a sort of carriage being ridden into town, right? It's just a humble carriage. It's not like an enclosed carriage, so I guess maybe it's more of like a wagon. But we see a carriage being led by horses with a small family in it. Momo, would you like to introduce your character?
Yeah, so my character's name is Winnie. Winsome is her full name, but she only goes by Winnie. And she's here with her family to audition for the Masmus.
Yes.
Against her will. Actually, very much with her will, because it was kind of against her will. But because it was against her will, she has to do it, so it's her will.
Her will, not her will. The point of the matter is that... Oh, let me get your artwork up, even though it's hidden. I can still get your artwork
secret.
up. The point of the matter is that Winsome was born blessed, much to her misfortune. And as you guys are wheeling into town, it's awkward. It's awkward. It's silent. Mm-hmm. Both of your parents, your mother and father, are in the front sort of seat of the wagon with the horses, and you're kind of sitting in the back. Just watching as you come through the gates of Opulo, super ornate, opulent, some might say. And it's an incredible city. I don't think you've ever seen a city this big. This is like, we're not in Kansas anymore type shit. Like this is not where you're from at all. Your family has moved from small town to village, like your whole life. And as you're kind of wheeling in and you can see the Coliseum in the horizon, it's so big. Your dad kind of, Winnie, it's not too late. We could just turn this whole trip into a vacation. Me and your mom got a 2-bedroom at a tavern. And so you could have a room to yourself. We could hit the city, visit the sea. You've never seen the sea. Could be pretty cool.
It is too late, Dad. It's too late. It's either I do this or we all live a life of cranks, and we don't want that.
I hate that you know, I hate I don't know who came up with this word cranks, but how dare they, you know? What's wrong with just choosing what you want to do?
Our society is at war, so that's kind of the deciding factor now, isn't it?
You see your mother turns to her husband and goes, "You really just have to let it go, darling. She's clearly made up her mind. And we know Winnie, when she makes up her mind, it's made up. Always been that way. Always will be. The best we can do, and the best we will do, Winnie, is support you. Even though tickets were quite expensive to get some seating in the Coliseum, we will be there because this is the path you've chosen. And although
you did not have to buy tickets.
Yes,
you
we
didn't
did.
have
No,
to.
we had
You
to.
didn't.
We weren't gonna send you off here and not be here. You know, we're gonna. It's a big moment for you, even if it's not the one that we want. It's still big, and so we had to be here.
Well, look at this city. Look how big everything is. You want to tell me that they don't have free tickets for people that are auditioning's family? That's absolutely ridiculous. Why'd you have to pay any money?
You would think. But then their prices have almost doubled in the last 5 years. It's just getting kind of crazy.
Like, look at that vendor over there. He's literally holding a wad of cash, and you had to pay for seating?
They look over at this sushi vendor and they go, "Well, we are not as fortunate as that sushi vendor, darling. We make our funds selling vegetables and livestock. You know, we made do. We made it work, and we're here now. That's the point." And it sucks.
Yeah, we are.
It sucks. I won't lie, it sucks. But
Thanks for saying it out loud, because
Okay,
you
yeah.
and Dad have been pretending for so long that it doesn't suck, and it sucks so bad. It sucks really bad. And me doing this is going to make it suck less for you. Can you just let me do this?
all right, I'm not going to get into this argument with you again, Winnie. We're here. And they pull up to the side, the contestant entrance of the Coliseum. And she goes, "We can't come inside today. This is just physical exams and stuff, I think. That's what the neighbors were telling me when I asked them about it. They had an older, you know, Thaddeus, he tried out for the Masmas a few years ago. They told us all about it. But we'll be here tomorrow for the mock combat. And I love you." And she nudges her dad, or your dad. And he goes, "Yes. We love you very much, dear. And we wish you the best." Okay.
Love you guys too.
Kisses. And kisses on the cheek. Kisses on the cheek. And they wheel away. And you walk through this crowd of the most athletic people you've ever seen in your life, completely alone. And once again, you get up to this front of this line and you see this old lady. She goes, "Name."
Winnie.
"I need your full name, sweetheart."
Winsome.
"Winsome what?"
And she just looks around the room and sees like a bouquet of roses on her desk from like some lover, husband, don't know. Rose and thorn.
Okay. Winsome Rose and Thorn it is. Preferred squad role?
Masmus.
We'll set you up for any. And are you blessed?
Sure.
Okay. Is that a lie?
No.
All right. Blessed. Here's your envelope. It has the schedule for your physical exams as well as your room number. Thank you for your service or potential service if you get it. Good luck out there. Next! And she ushers you along. And as you walk in to this Coliseum, again, it's freaking, you can't deny how beautiful it is. This is probably the most expensive building in all of existence. Like, it's incredible. And as you walk through, you head up to your room. Your room number is, I moved you around. Your room number is room 473. And
473.
As you get up there, you find your room. Again, this thing is multiple stories tall. This artist depiction doesn't even fully do it justice on just how big this thing is. You could fit a small town in here. Like, it's its own population when it's full of people. You come to room 473. And as you open up the door, you see a man. And he kind of turns around. And he's kind of a bigger guy. He's not like fat, obviously. He's very athletic. He just has like a bigger build. Sort of slicked back, black hair, and a roundish kind of face. And he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Yeah, sorry. I thought they gave me
you have
wrong
the wrong room.
Yeah, 473. I don't know which store this is. Sorry.
And he kind of walks over to the door and looks at it, and it says 473. He goes, "No, that's 473. Let me find my paper. Where did I put that thing?" And he goes rummaging through his stuff and pulls out a paper. And he goes, "Okay, so mine says Alexei Dolak. It has my schedule here, and then room 473. Can I see yours?"
Yep. It's this one. I'm like not looking. I'm trying so hard not to look at him.
He goes,
"Yep."
"Oh, Winsome Rosenthorn. That's a pretty name." There's your room 473. Well, okay. Hey, I'm sure this was some mistake. I can head down to like the front desk and ask them to put us in different rooms if you don't want to be sharing a room with a random guy. I don't think girls like that. Do you?
Yeah. You must get this a lot. Your name girl name also similar.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Alexi. Yeah, a lot of my friends just call me Lexi straight up. And so
That's a good joke.
it is what it is. I think I've grown to like it. I get called, obviously got picked on when I was a kid, but hey, now I'm going to be a knight or something, right? So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'll like walk you down there just in case, because this place is actually massive.
Yeah, I got lost
Very
on the way up here.
Mm-hmm.
I did. Well, and he hands you back your paper. He goes, on the way here, I saw the mess hall. I'm starving. Would you want to?
You know what? I have not tried the fish here.
Oh, yeah.
Here it's pretty good. I mean, like the vendors make a lot of money based off of it. So
Yeah.
it must be good.
They come straight from Estersall. It's crazy. Like Leviathan hunting and stuff like that. I hear it's good. I've never had it either. I'm from a small town, so I've never even seen the sea.
Me too.
Oh, whereabouts are you from?
Like a lot of places, but most recently Stellar Hollow.
Oh, see, I'm just north of Terium, and so I'm kind of like at the base of the mountains. I mean, it's beautiful out there, but this is definitely a change of pace.
Yeah, it's different for sure.
Yeah, if you're down to wait to go to the front desk and get some food first, I'm down. Sweet.
Yeah.
And you guys head to the mess hall together. And as you do, the camera pulls away, and you walk out into the distance, still chatting about where you came from and, oh, what brings you here? And all this stuff. And it pulls away and slips under the crack of a door into a sort of janitorial closet. It's empty, and it's dark, and there's just random bullshit in here, like cleaning supplies. And suddenly, the floorboards of the closet open up, and a hand pushes it open. Panda, would you like to describe your character for me?
Absolutely. So, I am going to be playing Jeremiah Stokes. Jeremiah Stokes is a shorter man, a little bit older than both Mike and Momo's characters, but not as old as Matt's character. Kind of somewhere in the middle. What are the two ages of Winnie and RG again?
RG is at this time 18, and I believe Winnie is 21.
Gotcha.
And then Matt is like 35 or something.
Yeah, Jeremiah's in his late 20s. Like mid to late 20s, roughly. Scruffier looking dude. He's got long black hair, black beard, and sort of slate blue eyes. And yeah, right. That is about all I can reveal right now.
Yeah. You crawl out of this
out of the floorboard.
this pit, and we just hear a voice go, "Asshole, help me up!" And another hand shoots up, and I assume you help them.
Yeah, lean down and pull them up.
And you pull up another person who goes by the name of Gwen. Short, chopped hair. Looks like they done it themselves. Kind of dirty blonde. Like they used to have black hair, but then they dyed it. Rough around the edges. Small, kind of like you, like just on the shorter side. Shorter than you, obviously, but on the shorter side for a woman. And she stands up, gets hoisted up into this janitorial closet with you. It's tight, it's cramped. Closes the floorboards. He goes, geez, I remember that being easier last year. Okay. You remember the plan?
Gets harder every year.
Gets harder every year. I'm getting too old for this. I'm only in my 20s.
Yeah. It's a hard 20. It's a hard 20.
It's hard. Do you remember the plan?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember the plan. We do this every time.
Yep.
I know where I gotta go.
Same as last year. Today's for socializing. Find some good picks. Okay? Tomorrow, we'll use the combat as a distraction. Sneak out those kids.
Absolutely.
Now remember, we only have room
Find
for
the
6.
ones. I know. Find the ones that everybody is going to assume are going to leave already. All right? I don't want another situation where we have people hunting again.
We're not going to... Okay, listen. It was 1 year. 1 year.
Yeah,
things were
and
a little
that
awry.
1 year, I got spotted and my wanted poster was in even more places, okay? So I don't want you picking anybody that isn't already going to be assumed to be doing this themselves. Got it?
Okay. Yes, got it. I'll look for the weaklings. I'll look for the cowards.
Listen, it's not... You know what I mean. Okay.
Hey. I got to talk to you first. Because last time, remember that 1 year where you grabbed... Oh, you just had to save them all. You grabbed way too many. We had to ditch some kids on the curb. We can't do that.
That is not how I would have played things if we had a better chance. And we are stronger and better now.
Yes.
So it won't be a problem. We can get out as many as we can.
All right. We'll figure it out, okay? Rendezvous. Where you want to rendezvous? You want to rendezvous on the roof or at like a nearby vendor or something tonight?
Yeah, nearby vendor, somewhere that they would have already been meeting up. Don't draw suspicion.
Okay, cool. And yeah, we'll rendezvous tonight. I'll ask how many good picks you got. We'll just make sure all you got to tell the kids today is where to meet us. They're not going to be meeting us tonight. They'll meet us tomorrow morning when the trials start. So we can just stay posted up out there and wait for them.
Got it.
Okay.
Understood.
See you soon.
See you soon. And then I'm assuming we're wearing like regular.
Yeah, you look like you belong. For sure.
Immediately duck out. Because today is the physical trials where everybody's going to be interacting. Jeremiah puts his hair up.
Nice.
To kind of get it out of the way, so that he can actually start fighting.
Yeah. She goes left. You go right. We cut away from you guys briefly as we cut to Captain Baina arriving as well. Just briefly, we go with the camera kind of goes up a few floors, just right through the floorboards. And we see Highblade Vera opening up a door to a much nicer room than the room that Winsome had, and it's made for one person. You're not bunking with multiple people. Highblade Vera opens it up and goes, "All right, this one's for you. Mine is right next door. If you have any issues, do not come and ask me for help. I will be resting. Remember, I am just here to supervise. I don't like this much more than you do, because I'm a Highblade, and I've earned my keep already. But you have been dropping the ball so much that now I have to get involved, just so you remember. Enjoy your room."
You've mentioned it a few times on the... Okay. He kind of just looks around the room, and then, given that he came here directly from his lab, just kind of takes like the one bag of crystals that he had and just sort of chunks it on the bed, and then turns to Ampus and goes, "And we're unpacked."
He fucking slid us around. And that's all the introductions. And so now what I think we'll do is sort of open it up. If you've played Business Venture, you'll be familiar with this style of DMing that I've done, where I kind of open it up to you guys. We have the physical exams, which we don't have to role play at all. We can assume that you're going to do good enough. And this day is for socializing at the end of the day. Some of the best places to do that will be the mess hall, and there's also an indoor training sort of area. And there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of talented people here. And just for the sake of like storytelling stuff, like Matt, for example, you don't have to say, "I go to the mess hall." If you want to like run into RG, you can just say, "Oh, I want to run into RG," and we'll come up with an excuse for why that happened. If you guys want to just have an interaction, you know? So yeah, whatever you guys want to do, or if you have nothing you want to do or no conversations you want to have, that's also up to you.
I will say for Baina's part as to where he's going, he doesn't really have too much reason to just stay in this room. It's nice, but he doesn't really care about that, and there's nothing there. He's probably going to want to go and just kind of take a cursory look at whatever the best example of anchor training would be going on right now, because he wants to see how his tech is being used. He hasn't seen it in action in a while, so he wants to see how his inventions are going. Whatever form that may take, I leave that to the rest, but that is what he's doing, and we can figure out interactions.
Okay, let me make a quick note of this. I'll get what everybody wants to do if people have stuff to do or that they want to do first, and then we'll go around and do all of that. So, Baina, you want to go check out the anchoring arrows in action, the training yard. Does anybody else want to do anything? Panda, you're muted.
I just want to kind of ask a clarifying question.
Yeah.
I'm assuming I'm going to the mess hall because I want interactions.
Yes.
Because of Matt's position, I'm assuming he would have seen my poster. Would I know who he is?
I will also say if it's like a wanted poster, I probably wasn't paying that much attention.
Okay, good. All right,
Also,
I
I
can
also
roll with
live
that.
halfway across the country.
That's true.
So I don't
He
know
lives
how
on the other side of the
far your
country.
renown is, but Demita's literally the other side.
Well, I guess Matt, how in tuned are you with specifically Masmis news? Like
I feel
major
maybe,
things happening within Masmis, like exchanges of power or incoming threats or anything like that.
major stuff he probably is. Again, I genuinely speaking as a player, like don't know all the specifics of Panda's history.
Roll
so
me
this is
a history check then. We'll just leave it up to
roll
fate.
a history check. This is going to be the first roll with this. I'm going to take another second to shout out Nathan here. Nathan got us all dice.
Oh,
Nathan
yeah.
literally
Here we go.
scoured the internet and found us all specific, like character-specific dice that fit our vibe. They're kind of hard to see on camera, but mine, they
Well-
are black, and then they got purple on them for Amethyst, purple crystals.
We
Anyway,
can
that
upload
history
photos
check-
into the Patreon Discord so people can
Yes,
see
my-
that. Hey, subscribe to our
history's
Patreon.
quite good. Oh, hell yeah, 23. I probably do know.
Yes, you've heard. Okay, 23 is actually really good. Before I tell Panda, or before I tell Matt what he knows, Panda, you also roll a check to see if you would, a history check to see if you would know Captain Bana.
This is a great time to point out mine. Again, we'll upload photos later, but mine are these little metal spiked dice that have blood splatterings all over them. And they're heavy as fuck. And I also wanted to shout out my buddy Willie's Paint and Print, because he gave me this dice tower back when I did my first NocoCon, and everybody in this chat can confirm that it has been a blessing on my terrible, terrible rolls.
Yeah,
That's true.
This is the mimic
I haven't actually
dice
seen it.
tower
That's
that he
great.
gave me. Yeah, it's like a mimic with a bunch
That's
of gold
wild.
pouring out of it, and its tongue is the thing that holds in all of the dice. This thing, at least in the last thing that we did, helped out a lot. We're gonna see if it does that again, because I might just completely biff it now that I've hyped it up. Of course I fucking did. It's a history check, right?
History.
That is a 9.
No,
That's
Not
less-
very
no.
good. I have other things on the brain.
So, with that said, Captain Bana, for years now, there has been a case building against a specific group of people. Okay? They are suspected to be, we don't know exactly what they are. Okay? There's a lot of theories. I won't even go into all the theories because nobody actually knows. But suspected to be treasonous, conducting treasonous acts. What we do know is that they show up at the tryouts and they leave with contestants. And then the contestants are never seen again.
Gotcha. That's not good.
That is all we know. Really. Like, I mean, we know when they leave, they fucking head south from Opulo, but everywhere is south from Opulo, so it's like,
Yeah.
that's really it. But you have definitely, this has been like a case. It's almost infamous because it's been going on for so long, and it hasn't been solved.
Got it.
And it hasn't been solved. So you would, with a 23, you know this guy's face if you happen to run into him.
Okay, that's real bad for you specifically, Jeremiah. That I know your face, because if I know your face, it means Amphis knows your face, and Amphis, as I've already established, is basically like a pseudo living warning system. So I think if I walk by him at any point, Amphis is locking on and immediately telling me.
I would say, Panda, for you, most people aren't in the know like that.
No.
So tread carefully.
Would I
like,
know to avoid people in uniform?
Yeah, I
I
think.
am wearing a captain's
So
uniform.
captain's
That's a good
uniforms. Let's pull up Bana's art. Captain's
Yeah.
uniforms.
I can be a dumb criminal, but if I see a cop, I'm still running. Like,
This uniform. Oh, let me switch over to image. This uniform means avert your gaze. It means
got it.
if they're not wearing a cape, or even worse, if you see someone with Vera's uniform with a black cape, That
Got it.
is not good. Someone
down.
like this will definitely know who you are. Someone like Bana,
Got it.
maybe.
Someone like Bana probably has an inkling, but they don't know.
They might not know
I
your
am.
face, but Bana
Got
is
it.
a nerd, and so Bana does know
Yeah.
your face.
Got it.
I pay attention.
Okay, so Bana
I
wants
like
to
to
go
stay
to the
informed.
training yard to check out the anchors in action. Panda, you want to go to the mess hall to socialize.
Gotcha.
Mike and
I
Momo.
want to go to the mess hall as well because I really want to see what kind of food you cooked up for this world. We never get to do food things.
We never
I'm
get
so
to
excited.
do food things.
World building.
There's
World
so
building.
much world building, guys. We'll talk about this when we do promo, but I like doing some of the editing on the book that we're working on.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of work Nathan's put into this world, crazy. There's a section in one of the books on like the culture of music in some areas. It's insane.
It is pretty crazy. Mike, what are you up to, if anything?
RG will also go to the mess hall to socialize, but also to get a lunch that will not upset his tummy. But first, he would ask what Ari is planning to do as well.
You ask Ari what she's planning to do. She's probably down to go to the mess hall. I mean, you guys, we're not going to worry about the schedule for your physical exams. You have time to go eat, and then maybe you have to go fucking quick lift some weights, and then you can come back and social. Like, all of this is happening in like 6 hours, until it's nighttime. And so, yeah, you guys can go to the mess hall. I mean, Grandpa has told you for the brand, travel everywhere together.
Okay.
Travel everywhere
For
together
the brand is crazy.
For the brand. Y'all are a team. He
For the
fought
brand.
really,
strong
really,
family image.
he fought really, really hard to get you guys in jerseys, but that wasn't gonna play.
It wasn't.
So
It wasn't hitting well.
it wasn't hitting well. His lawyers
Grandpa.
told him that would probably be a bad look. So
Okay.
Grandpa, we love and respect you. We're not wearing the costumes.
What's the matter? It's good. It's hip. It's hip.
We will be bullied.
I thought the kids loved personalized sportswear.
Okay.
I'm literally just picturing. I don't know if anyone here gets the reference, but like if you've seen Shake It Up, the like German twins, that's what I'm picturing.
Someone will do fan art. Someone will do fan
Oh,
art. We might have to
Lord.
wait until the art gets revealed, but it'll happen.
Oh my
All right.
god. Okay.
I see
so
you guys walking in like Jesse and James from Pokemon. Like just
we've got trouble and
Big.
make it double.
big ass S's on your chest. Like,
Okay. We'll start off with Matt, with Captain Bana. You head to the training yard. So the training yard is this huge space. There's actually a few training yards because this place is so fucking big. But you head to one of them, and there's like a closed off gate. Oh, also, all the contestants at any time, there's like special contestant seating in the arena. So you can like go out and look at what the arena is going to be or watch the other contestants do their thing. Just for your note. But you head to one of the training yards. There's like a closed off gate that leads out into the arena. That's obviously not open right now because it's not the time. And you see all kinds of people doing all kinds of things. There are other captains here. There are maybe a high blade or two here, but this isn't really the scene for high blades. If they're here, it's just because they love the tryouts. And you see there's like a section of people. There's like a straw giant for climbers to like do their reps, fly up this thing, jump off, climb back up it. There's just regular sized dummies for stalwarts to like practice their sword forms. And there's also an archery range, which is probably where you're headed.
Yeah, archery range is definitely where I'm going.
You see a lot of people bring their own, but there's also like community sort of bows and arrows. They only give them anchoring arrows. They don't give them any other fancy stuff. But you see it. It's here. Your work.
stuff.
just hundreds and hundreds of quivers with crystal-tipped arrows. This is your patent. This is your design. Before this, anchoring arrows were very like mechanical and used ropes, and you had to like tie them off to your horses and have the horse heave and try to pull down a giant. With this creation, we turn over and see another sort of straw giant. An anchor fires at it. The arrow hits, and with a swirl of magic, a huge vine shoots out from the point of impact and sticks into the ground and takes root. And you see the magic of your creation, the crystal enchantments that you formatted at work.
I mean, yeah, if I see it being used like immediately, and did the person who just fired in that example like shoot it well? I'm assuming that they did.
Oh yeah. For sure.
If I'm just walking by, 100% Beta just kind of turns and goes, "Oh, that was a good shot." Not even really like thinking or stopping, just super casual, like, "Yeah, that worked well."
They turn around like, "Captain Adrian Baina?
Oh, yeah, yes.
Oh my gosh!
something?
She just wiggles an arrow at you. You.
Yeah, that's one of mine. The cut on that one looks a little off. You might want to try a different one. The vine might not go in the direction you're hoping, but yeah, that's generally my invention.
It's an honor, sir. It's truly an honor.
Thank you. I hold out my hand for her to shake just very casually.
She shakes your hand, and you.
I think.
Go ahead.
Can I see that arrow actually?
Yeah, of course.
He's gonna take it, pick up a bow. I assume there's one nearby.
Yeah.
And with, I would say, like, surprising ease for the character who has thus far been like the nerdy science guy, pulls this pretty strong draw weight bow back just very casually and fires it off. Just to see if he was right about the cut of that crystal being slightly off.
Yeah, and you fire it. It hits dead center mass, but instead of going straight down, the root grows a little higgledy-piggledy and kind of veers left.
See, I told you could see on that one facet there on the side. Watch out for that if you're picking up more arrows in the field. That could be a make or break situation. And then once again, he just got to kind of like continue on his path. She
dumps all of her arrows onto the ground and gets on her knees and just starts like looking at them. and you head out. At this time, someone of similar age to you walks up. They are bald, completely bald, and they go, "Hey, Captain Adrian Baina, pleasure to see you." And he pats you on the back. You turn around. You recognize this man. He's a captain. He became a captain around the same time as you. His name is Captain Oldovich. Captain Oldovich. He goes, "They finally brought your scaredy ass to the tryouts."
Oh, well, I'm here to fulfill my duties as a captain, as is my duty as a captain.
So when you get a squad, what are you going to teach them how to enchant stuff, or you're going to actually teach them how to kill giants?
If they're interested in enchanting, I'm happy to share my skills, but we'll be doing the work. We'll be fighting on the field, as is the duty of a captain. I need to stop saying that.
That's exciting stuff. Well, hey, this is going to be my third squad. So it's good for you. They didn't die. The previous two didn't die. Well, okay, the first one was unfortunate. But the other two got relocated to like another captain, and I just wanted something fresh, you know?
Okay. So, the first squad died, and then the second aren't working. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
They were happy to have me back for a third. I said, I will do this till the day I die.
Which might be sooner than you think.
Don't be ridiculous. I'm Captain Oldovich. I don't die.
Right. And I'm sure you never will. Good to see you again.
Good to see you too. And keep on going with all that nerd stuff. Hey, if you ever figure out how to make an arrow. Oh, and you know what? I've been meaning to tell you about this. Imagine an arrow.
He's gone, and then he says, "I've been meaning to tell you about this." And you see Beta, he just like clenches his fist and turns around.
Imagine an arrow. You fire it, and it makes food.
But then wouldn't the food be far away from you?
Well, you could just like stab it into like a plate.
Well, that doesn't need to be an arrow.
But yeah, but that's what you do. So.
I don't do. My job isn't arrows.
Are you sure?
I just made an arrow that.
You wait.
I'll see about the food arrow. That's maybe
okay.
we could use it for.
I think it would be a serious
great
hit.
idea, friend. Yes.
Like I can't tell you how many times I've needed food out on some bullshit
Oh yes, and it's great to have that food be hundreds of feet away. Nice to see you.
All right. You separate. We'll transition over to the mess hall, which I guess literally everyone else is going to. But so I guess it's up to you guys on who wants to go first. Or who wants to arrive first.
That character makes me violent. I hate that.
My job is arrows. My job is beach. I have.
Oh my god. Yeah. Jesus Christ. If you give this person like a Flash Thompson style redemption during this campaign, I'm gonna be so mad. I will say Jeremiah is so short, and because his nondescript look of just guy with a black man bun right now, kind of just he's trying to do a very routine. He's done this before, and you could tell he's done this before,
right.
But it's not a great strategy of like trying to Assassin's Creed his way through crowds to like
right.
listen in on conversations. Because he's trying to listen and see who's talking about what, who is where. He's getting a vibe for the people. And specifically, he's trying to see if there's anyone on their own kind of hiding in an open room.
Sitting alone.
Sitting alone, keeping to his side, sitting in a corner.
Give me a perception check. Why don't you?
Starting to think these. There we go.
It bumped up against the side of the thing, and then it fell back over, so I thought I had a real shit roll, but apparently it didn't. Perception is 15.
15? Yeah.
Yes.
You spot a guy for sure.
Got it.
You spot someone. Obviously, you have no way of telling just by looking at them if they're blessed. But you spot somebody sitting alone, sort of like in a corner, just kind of poking at their food.
Okay. Can I kind of ascertain visually if there's anything remarkable? Like something that is like when some people get gifted or blessed, it's like a very obvious physical thing. So I want to see first, is there anything that stands out?
Yes. So people are born blessed, which is impossible for humans to tell, but giants can see like an aura, it's described as. Obviously, none of us are giants. Sometimes when kids get gifted, which typically only happens once you get into the Masmus or once you get to a certain level in the church. They have like the secret on how to bring it out of you if you have it. This kid doesn't have any of that, but you can give me an insight check on this kid.
Yeah.
Give me an insight check on this kid.
Well, that's a 3.
That's a 3. He's stressed, but it's also the tryouts.
I'm gonna blame the chat for the reason that my rolls are always shit now, because when there was no chat, everyone here, I got stupid good rolls.
It's true. When the cameras were off, I rolled 3
The cameras were off. My
rolls.
rolls were amazing. Okay. He's stressed. He's worried. He's alone. Is he like sitting in a corner? Is he just in the side of the room?
He's sitting in a corner. He's at a table. He's soup is really big this north of Cazilor because in Estersol, soup is huge. And so
Got it.
Giants love soup. It's part of the lore. Don't ask me.
Big soup.
So
Lots of
Are we
soup.
in Fantasy Texas?
I can confirm
Listen, he writes
Giants
what he
Love Soup
knows.
is in the lore book.
Giants
I
love soup
read it.
is in the lore book.
Oh my god.
So he's eating some sort of butternut squash style soup. Just not really
So-
getting into it.
To clarify my outfit, I have a beard and long hair.
Yes.
And I look like I'm in my late 20s.
Yes.
So I am obviously not here for the tryouts.
Okay.
Well, that
You could be.
visually, I could be.
You could
but
be.
it'd be a hard sell to go.
There have been in previous years
Yeah.
with Gwen and with your other people,
Mm-hmm.
you've tried a couple different things. Obviously, when you were younger, you could pass for tryout contestant. You've tried janitor outfit has worked pretty well in previous years. You've also done like mess hall worker before. So I'll allow you to decide whatever disguise you have wanted. I would have said you like pre-planned it before you even got here.
Got it. And what are the ages that you're allowed to apply?
You have to be 18 to do the tryouts because
18 minimum.
it's not impossible for you to die during the tryouts. So
Gotcha. Okay. 18 minimum, and I'm assuming there's no maximum until you're at
No.
an unreasonable
that's why they do the physical exam stuff first on the first day.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
to weed out everyone who's not fit enough.
All right. Is there a uniform for the people who are trying out?
Sure, yeah, I would say it's like generic sort of Masmus training gear, which is like a it's not like your full garb that you would normally put on, like the red cape and it's just like a white tank top, and joggers don't exist in a fantasy setting, but sort of like black cargo style joggers. Like, they look like they're about to all go do some parkour or some shit, right?
Gotcha. All right.
Something loose, something light, to keep yourself mobile.
All right. I have a duffel bag on me.
Okay.
That has a change into something that's more general worker look.
Got it. Yeah.
But the thing that I'm wearing under it, which is what I'm wearing right now, is the tryout gear.
Got it.
So that I look like someone who has done this a couple of times.
Yeah. Okay.
But that would also be a good point to point out the fact that it's very obvious that Jeremiah is both sun-weathered, scarred, and stocky. Like,
yeah.
he doesn't look like somebody who would have failed for any physical reason, and this is physical day.
Yes.
And that's more of just a flavor thing for the audience. So I see the guy sitting on his own. How old would you say this guy is?
He is young. He's as young as he can be.
Young?
He's 18.
18-year-old kid. All right.
But he looks younger. But you know he has to be at least 18.
Gotcha. Okay. Jeremiah walking through, has had a bowl in his hand since he walked in, because he's got blend in, because again, assassin creating his way through a crowd.
Of course.
He casually sits down at the other far end of the table. So not on the same side, on the opposite side at the far end.
Got it.
And sits down and kind of starts poking at his food. He's kind of waiting to see if the kid says anything or if he does anything. But if he does, stop me here. But if he doesn't, then he'll interact with him.
He does not.
Okay. Poking at his food a little bit. Jeremiah goes, "So I'm assuming it's your first time?"
Huh?
I'm assuming it's your first time.
Oh. Is it that obvious?
A little bit.
Is it not your first time?
Kid, look at me.
Oh, yeah.
Does it really look like it's my first time?
I didn't want to be rude. But how many times have you done this?
A few. I'd say probably. Lord, what is this? I'd say going on 6 about this time.
And you keep coming back, huh?
Well, kind of have to, right? It's either this or the church.
Yeah. Ain't that the truth? And he just kind of stares off.
Yeah. Jeremiah notes that in his brain. Just. What brought you here?
Well, I was born blessed, like a lot of people here, so.
Yeah.
And my family, they own my local church, and not to get too into it, I'm not a huge fan of my family, so kind of just this, you know. But you know, it's good. Gonna be a climber. Hopefully.
Trust me, kid, I can relate on all fronts. I'm a climber myself.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
It's
It's a little stressful, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot riding on you for sure. And, but I just, I mean, I would love to be like a anchor, but I just don't have the muscle mass. So,
Yeah.
deadliest job in the
anchor takes a lot.
Masmus is what's left for me. Us
Well.
short kings, you know.
Ain't that the truth?
He kind of goes to take a drink of water, his hand's shaking.
Shaking. I take it you haven't really grappled with that yet, have you?
No, not yet. I have to get in first, right? So, you know, yeah, obviously I'm going to try my best to get in,
Of course.
but
Of course.
I would never. I'm no crank, right? I would never just botch my exams to not get in. Everyone, no, not me. The guys, I hear people do that. I'm like, whoo, not me.
Of course. I mean, who would willingly do that, right?
Who? I mean, it's abandoning your people. It's terrible.
Well, I don't know if abandon is the word that I would use for it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a raw deal. Honestly, I mean, I've been here 6 times already, and they just keep throwing me back in because what else am I going to do? Am I going to go to the church? I'm short and stocky, and I can get up things real good, so obviously, why wouldn't I be thrown into the most dangerous arm of the military to potentially die for my country doing something that, you know, might not actually do anything?
Yeah. That's kind of what I was thinking too, actually.
It's a rough go of things.
What's your name?
You can just call me Jeremiah.
Hey, Jeremiah.
What's your name, kid?
Stanitsky. Stanitsky Greenwater.
Stanitsky.
Yeah.
Well, Stanitsky, I know that it can be hard these first couple of days. I know they can be really stressful. And I know that, especially when joining up like this, it's good to know people. So
Yeah.
if you want to, let's just say, get together with some like-minded folks and talk over what your options are, how about you meet me and my buddy here? And he hands over a little scrap of paper.
And he
He
looks
goes,
at it.
Mm,
For sure. Yeah. Thank you.
just know, it's not a binary, kid. You don't got to choose one or the other. There's a lot more options than you think. And he stands up and he picks up his bowl and he walks back into the crowd.
And that makes one.
And that makes one.
Now we transition also to another section of the mess hall. Who wants to arrive first? Ari and RG? Winnie and Alexi? Who wants to show up?
I guess we could show up.
All right.
RG and Ari. Quick steps. Big steps.
Big steps. Big steps. You
We're on a
arrive
mission.
to the mess hall. Tons of fucking people in here, man. And it smells so fucking good. They got pastries. They got a lot of healthy stuff. They got like all kinds of like steamed vegetables. And of course, we've already touched on the amount of soups that they have, the variety. Of course, they have sushi. It's just very popular in this area. They have like a whole deli, like sandwich section, like Subway style, make your own sandwich, treat yourself buffet. It's incredible in here if you're a foodie. But I don't know if that's your main goal.
It's probably the first thing RG would do. So RG's gonna say to Ari, so I was thinking like maybe like a light vegetable dish, because like I'm feeling really nervous and I don't want to really upset my stomach, and it was unclear if we have to like order the same thing. Like I know for the brand we have to like be together, but like
Yeah, no,
do
I
we have
think
to be like completely in sync?
I don't think we gotta go that crazy. I think we just being seen together, because Grandpa wants to eventually push us being a dynamic duo, you know.
Yeah, and duos have contrasts, so like
Yeah. I think we can like I'm gonna get some soup, but you like I know you sometimes got a texture thing, so you don't have to get like soup. You can get like a sandwich.
it's just that it's like savory stuff shouldn't be like watery, you know? It just
Dude, I totally get it.
Yeah.
Totally get it.
okay, I'm gonna get some like zucchini or something.
Yeah, that'd be
Some
great.
grilled zucchini.
Keep it
Yeah.
keep it light for
okay.
sure. You know, we got to run a
Keep it
mile
light,
soon.
yeah.
But
I have a quick question.
yeah,
Press family, right?
yeah. Family runs a
Yes.
press business.
Nathan.
That is true. That is true. That is I
Good
don't.
point.
So actually, I already have the answer for this.
Oh yeah.
You amongst the common folk are a myth.
Okay.
The Masmus would not let this shit get out like that.
Of course not.
So you are a myth. It's
Got it.
You're like not even necessarily a boogeyman, but you are. It's like a story, maybe kind of boogeyman-ish, where it's like, some guy comes and takes people, you know.
Got it.
But I don't know if RG would have heard of it, or if people would have heard of it.
Do all of the scritorums have a very similar? They have similar features. I should say.
That'd be a question for Mike.
Yeah, Mike. I know that I'm not going to state it just because we haven't seen it yet. I know there is a kind of identifying feature for your character. Is that Scritorum, like all of them look like that, or is it?
No, that's specifically RG. RG and Ari obviously look alike, and there's probably resemblance to their other family members, but I mean, if you're tuned into like Opulo society, you would probably recognize them because they do like public appearances, socialite experiences,
okay.
whatever.
Worth
Very
noting.
public-facing family.
Worth noting. RG has already said this. I forgot to mention something, but RG is obviously gifted because he has this crazy white hair with blue sort of dots, you know, or spots. Kind of like how I have my white streak, except he has white hair and just splotches of blue. That's unnatural and would be a nightmare to maintain if it was dyed. So you can assume he's gifted. And Ari, can't believe I forgot to mention this, has horns.
Oh, yeah.
Ari has...
What?
Ari has white ram's horns growing out of the front of her head that curl back. So she is also very obviously gifted. As
Got
well.
it. You're walking just to like the food stuffs, right, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay. Passing by, I see both of you going over to food, and I go, "You are the Scritori kids, aren't you?"
Yeah. RG's a little jazzed to be recognized in public.
I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I am a huge fan of you guys' paper." Hi, I'm Jeremiah Stokes, by the way.
Argentum, Scritori, I am RG to my friends and to my enemies. I'm a cool thing that I haven't thought of yet. This is Ari.
Hello.
I love that. Hi, Ari.
Aram Scritori. You can call me Ari.
Hi, Aram. What are you guys doing here? I would not think that you two would be trying out for the Masmus.
Well, blessed in more ways than one. The Scritori family actually, ended up with 2 gifted kids, set of twins. So we're gonna be trying out, and maybe get a little dynamic duo thing going on.
Yeah.
Good branding thing. I shouldn't tell people it's a branding thing.
Yeah, you can't mention that out loud. But that is the goal, is to
Oh. So I'm sorry.
successful.
I don't mean to overstep in that case. Did you want to join the Masmus, or was that more of a branding decision?
We absolutely
Well.
wanted to join the Masmus. It's been a lifelong dream of ours for sure.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, both of you?
Oh yeah. I don't know
It's
if you. I'm sure you maybe remember, because you seem. Because I certainly do, but I vividly remember the attack on Thalm, and the attempt to attack Kragora as well, just 12 years ago, and ever since that day, I've been devoted.
Horrifying, really. Yeah, I get it. I really do. What about you, RG? Is there a reason that you wanted to join up?
Largely same backstory. And it's really been family ambition.
Yeah.
Family is a big
Big on family.
driving factor toward the Masmus, toward military service, toward defending the country, and
Yeah.
Right.
doing war. Yeah, it seems
Yeah.
fun.
Mm-hmm. And I can tell, again, sorry if it's an overstep, but I can tell, unless you're really into real fancy hair dyes there, you know what your thing is yet?
Yeah, I have a gift. And you seem awesome, and full respect to you. I don't want to say it out loud, like before the combat, in case it would be like,
No worries.
behoove me, intel.
Totally understand. You don't need to say another word. I absolutely get it. General curiosity. It's great to see people that I actually recognize around here, and not to
Yeah.
be, isolated and trying to figure out what we're supposed to be doing, really.
Yeah. It's good.
You haven't done this before?
Oh, I've done it a couple of times. This is actually, if I remember, attempt roughly 7, if I'm remembering correctly.
Oh, well, good luck.
Thank you.
Presuming it's evaded you the 6 or 7 other times.
Yeah. It's it can be difficult. It's a lot harder
Oh yeah.
than people tend to realize.
It's the hardest thing you'll ever do.
Absolutely, it really is. But keeps coming back here because it's either this or the church, right? Coming from a family that isn't this or the church, I can imagine that hits home for both of y'all as well.
It's really nothing. I'm happy to serve my country.
And more power to you.
Yeah.
I appreciate the resolve. You're really gonna make something out here.
I plan to.
And as I'm saying that, I look over at RG, and you can kind of see that there's kind of a and you sort of look at him
Yeah, the church seems nice, but the church isn't really even an option, Family thing, again. Big on... We've done a lot of training for this, so
Really?
Oh yeah.
without a hint of hyperbole, if we didn't get in the Masmus, physically, emotionally, bones, mind, body, spirit, all would be crushed. So...
Yeah.
Gotcha. A lot of stakes.
Yeah.
What other family members do you have that are in the Masmus?
Well, we're first generation. First of our generation in the Masmas. Is part of why we want to get in.
Oh, okay. So, recent family thing, I see.
I mean, how recent? It is 18 years, Kinda-
Yeah, that's fair. That makes sense. Well, I will let the celebrities get back to their day. Let the little people go about theirs. So I hope you guys have a great time. And if you ever need a compatriot, let's hope this time I get through, right?
For sure. It's good talking to you.
Good talking to you too. As you guys are kind of walking away, I go, I am so sorry. I didn't shake your hand. And I hold my hand out to RG.
Can I roll an insight check?
It would have to be, yeah. Roll it in. Well, what are you trying to insight?
Insight the handshake, because knowing that powers exist and growing up in a paranoid household, I think this would set off something in RG's brain.
Okay, so Panda, you roll either persuasion or deception. Don't tell us which, and that'll be opposed against RG's insight.
Oh, I also have custom dice.
Custom
They're cool.
dice.
They have mushrooms
Woo.
in them. Hiya! Where'd it go? No. I got 7.
Yeah, 13.
Cool. So what vibes are you sending to RG's way? He will believe them, whether it's the truth or not.
I want to shake her. I just want to shake your hand, closing goodbye. I forgot to do this before, so.
Well, you've meant so well so far. RG's gonna shake your hand, pal.
Shake. I'm going to do a sleight of hand check.
Go for it.
Ooh.
That would be a 19.
Yeah, I know what you're doing. Yeah, that
Got
works. Yeah, that
Gotcha.
works.
After I break and walk away, RG, you realize there is a piece of paper in your hand.
RG's gonna pocket it until he has a moment alone.
And Ari rolled a nat 1 on a perception check.
Good.
That
RG's
said,
day has consisted of mysterious paper.
everyone keeps handing me papers.
Oh, God!
As you guys turn away from Jeremiah, Ari kind of leans into you and be like, we're definitely not picking him to be as part of R4. He's been here 6 times. Give me a fucking joke. Might as well be a crank.
No, yeah. I just got a generally weird vibe.
Super
like
weird
I was
vibe.
so excited at the start. Super weird
Super
and
weird
kind of
vibe.
shady vibe.
Like, what is he even doing
Like
here?
7's a lot.
7's a lot.
That guy's
He looked like he was
stocky.
He looked like he was pushing
Perfect
30.
climber.
Perfect climber.
Yeah.
It's like, surely, like, he has the build. Why does it take so many times? I don't know. With all the weird stuff going on with, like, the tryouts these years, I wouldn't be surprised if he's just, I don't know, here to try and get in with some higher ups or something. He's clearly not in it for the same reason we are.
Maybe some people just see it like it's more as a summer camp, like without all the external pressure that like we have.
Well, you know what Grandpa said is that a lot of people actually like come to the tryouts every year, but purposefully like do bad just so they can keep telling people like, oh no, I'm trying, I'm not a crank, but they're really a crank. You know, and that guy stinks of crank. Oh my gosh.
Can I, hey Nathan, can I ask for them to roll a perception check on something?
Sure.
Is that I rolled lower than my passive perception, and my passive perception is 9.
Okay.
So
Pass perception 9, and then Ari got a 19.
19. Ari can tell that the gear that I'm wearing is not from this year.
Got it.
It's not the current gear that they're wearing. It's obviously a couple years out of date, but close enough in visuals that you have to be looking.
She'll definitely note that. And she might even turn to Ari and be like, his gear wasn't even, it was like fucking old and stinky. Like,
oh.
Did you notice that?
He says he's done it 6 times. Maybe he's just like reusing it.
I
for some
guess,
reason.
but clearly it's bad luck. So I don't know why he keeps wearing it. Anyways, while we were talking to that bum, I noticed a really good couple looking over here. That might be what we need for the tryouts. Look at these guys. And they point over to Winsome and Alexi. You take the lead on this one. You did really good with that guy, aside from mentioning the branding. Don't do that again. But take the lead.
Right.
These two seem like good ones.
Okay, but like he initiated with me, and I don't like. What's an initiation phrase for like social stuff?
Oh my god, dude! Like
Like a what's up or a
just
not
go,
with gesture, but like
just go up and say, "Hey, is this seat taken?"
got it.
Okay. Go
R-
ahead.
RG walks up to Winsome and Alexi. Is anyone using this chair?
Oh Jesus. Okay.
These two
not-
chairs, actually, we probably need 2 chairs. There's 2 of us.
Yeah, you can take them. They're for free.
No, actually, we'd love to sit with you if that's okay.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, sure. And like it's truly in front of Alexi and Winnie are like a truly stupid amount of food. It's like they were doing like Epcot drink around the world, but with like food instead. So they have like at least one thing from all of the shops in the like square. So it's just like
That's amazing.
squishing them all to make like the teeniest amount of spot.
Yeah, let's get this stuff out of the way. Sorry, I had to try
sorry.
everything.
Yeah.
Okay, I just have like a single plate of like zucchini, so it's just a little space.
Just like not like just zucchini, like not no rice, no bread.
Yeah,
just,
you didn't
Well,
even, like, make a
we're
sandwich. Do you like food? All right. What's your name?
That's a long silence.
What's your name, man?
RG Scritori.
Oh, jeez, like the Daily Script.
Yeah, like the daily. We're actually we're in the family that runs the Daily Scripts, and yes, I like food. I just kind of I was mortified over the chair thing, but yeah, food's
Dude,
cool.
it's all good, man. Take a seat. You can try some of mine if you want. I mean, I'll eat all of it if you don't, but if you want a bite, it's all good.
I mean, I'd hate to interrupt. You seem to be eating like it's your last meal, so
No,
enjoy every bite.
hey,
That
That's
is
a funny
not
joke for the
untrue.
situation we're in. So.
Yeah.
hey.
Well, here's half of this pickled sandwich. So the insides are like all pickled, like radishes,
Yeah.
cucumbers, good for digestion. So here you go.
Sure. RG bites into it. He clearly does not like pickled things.
Oh,
But it would be so rude to. He thinks it would be so rude to not eat the sandwich.
isn't it good? It's like like a real good sandwich. It's like the first thing we got here.
It's very strong. Very strong.
Yeah.
Prickly taste.
So what's up with like you two? Are you? What I mean, obviously you're here to try and join the Masmus. It's exciting stuff, and I mean, pardon if this is too forward, but you're both clearly gifted. Like, congratulations. You know.
Thanks. You know, it's a gift, and it's
Yeah.
a good thing, as the name gift implies.
God, dude.
Are you? Is it rude? Are you gifted?
No, dude. I wish. No, I got nothing. I'm not blessed. Don't have a gift. I'm just.
Nothing?
I know. No, did I not tell you that? No, I got nothing.
No.
I got nothing. But you know, it's. I felt like it was the right thing to do. You know, to come out here and do my part. I'm young. I'm fit. I'm healthy. I'm strong. I lost some loved ones to an attack once, and you know, I would hate for that to happen to someone else. So if I can do anything to stop it, I'm gonna try my best.
But you could do anything. You could be anywhere else.
Well, yeah, but people will need help. You know, so that's what I'm here for.
That's the coolest thing I've ever heard, dude. That's so cool.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
You could die so much easier than everyone else, but you're here?
I mean, hey, I know. I mean, I'm just trying to be a stalwart, you know, support my more blessed allies. But yeah, it's
Have
true.
you seen the statistics between the fatality rate of non-blessed people and blessed people? Because even that is like huge, man.
Oh yeah. Yep. No, I know. But you know, it's a risk I'm willing to take. The way I see it, if I can even save one life by my efforts, then it was efforts that was worth it.
We gotta write about you, man. RG fishes for a notebook in its pockets.
I've only ever been in like my local town's paper when I ran the fastest mile, but
Oh, where are you from?
it's not even on the map. It's a little village in the forest outside of Thulm.
Oh, I don't want to be rude. What about you? Where are you from? And he's talking to Winnie.
Stellar Hollow.
Oh, Stellar. Very nice.
It's
Very.
not. I know.
RG like stares at the plates of food, putting it together. Oh, this is why. What do you
It's
think of the
fine.
big city? What's that?
It's fine. It's not a nice place. It's no Opulo. It's no Opulo, but like
Opulo.
It's-
Yeah, we grew
it's
up
home.
here. So.
Oh wow.
It's home.
Yeah, this place is so out of my element, man. Like, I'm scared to go outside. I came straight here. I hear about like the crime rates in Opulo and stuff, and it's crazy. We had like one criminal in my village, and you know we killed him.
Oh. Well, that fixes it.
Um,
If only.
Lexi, I actually need you to know that's not a normal thing.
What do you mean? It's like we have one cop who guards the whole town, and if anybody commits, obviously they weren't like a shoplifter, like they brutally attacked somebody, so he's the law.
There's only one guy that decides what anything and everything that's wrong. Like obviously attacking someone is like not a good thing, but like you can't just kill people.
Well, I mean,
That can't just be the law.
he didn't like act. It wasn't like just his idea. It's like this dude was a criminal. He did some horrible stuff, and everyone was like, the village would be better without him. You know.
You could have just banished it. We literally have giants that want us all dead. You could have just kicked them to the curb and would have solved the problem right there. But
Yeah.
you just flat out had him killed.
Hey,
Did you like all stone him to death or something? Don't say yes. Actually, don't answer
No,
that.
we're not brutal. I mean, we just set him out to sea and didn't let him get it back ashore.
So you starved him to death?
Well, he drowned.
brutal.
He drowned first. It's a really peaceful way to go.
No, wait. What?
I feel like I'm being judged for my village's antics. I was like 7 when this happened, okay?
RG has been writing all of this down.
My village has like 40 people in it. I don't know what, you know.
You know, maybe being here is gonna be good for you. Maybe
think so.
you need to be in a place that's a little bit bigger with more thoughts and opinions
I
than
think
just
that-
the 40 people you've known your whole life.
I mean, yeah, I think that's another reason kind of why I'm here is because, you know, home is tiring.
Yeah. Sure.
But yeah. I mean, that's enough about me and my village. What do you guys think do you guys have any theories on what the combat tomorrow is going to be?
No, I don't know how I would know that at all.
Ari kind of like elbows you. Goes, I guess it's as good as yours.
Insight check. Insight
All
check.
right.
That's an 18.
That's an 18.
Oh fuck.
Beats a 17 for Ari.
And what do I have a choice of rolling?
Persuasion or
If
deception,
anything.
but you're lying. And so, deception.
So deception.
Like, we know you're lying. Everyone at the table knows you're lying.
That's a 6 on the die with a plus 0. So it's a 6.
Cool. So you beat both of them. You know something's up. Winnie.
So if you didn't have an idea, what would be your best guess, RG?
Oh, she addressed me directly. Maybe probably an objective that's like
give
not
like a
killing.
give like a really good guess, because you know how easy it would be to die in the situation you're prepared for, and poor Lexi here is not even blessed. He could die very easily in an unprepared situation.
This is mean. This is mean what you're doing.
Ari will lean
That
over
is so fucked.
and whisper to you, RG, and be like, I think they're a good pick. Just go for it.
Well, Archie is like nailing the table, almost making like marks. Like, probably if I was to guess, groups tend to hover around 4 or 5, but probably 4, but maybe 5, but it's probably 4. An objective probably isn't straightforward killing anything. It could be escaping. It could be a rescue. It could be other stuff.
We would love to discuss our theories more if you want to like join us in our room.
You know, I think that would be ideal, actually, if we could discuss a possible what's the word I'm looking for? Alliance?
Yes.
Or strategy?
That could be very good.
Here's a pitch. Friendship? Friends?
Friends? I like friends.
Friends? I like friends. I haven't had friends, but I like friends. In theory.
You don't have friends?
Well, we have like acquaintances, you know, in
Stop right
society and stuff.
You got a friend now, Archie.
Oh, that's really nice.
Show us the way to your room. I'm stuffed.
Ari, could you maybe start showing him there? I still got so much zucchini to work through, so I'm just gonna like stay back for, I don't know, a minute tops.
Sure.
While you guys go ahead.
Yeah. And
yeah,
she said, "Come on, we're room 1000, whatever I said before." And she'll lead you guys away.
Cool.
Walking
RG is
heavy. We had so much food. Oh, okay. Maybe having seconds of the soup was a bad idea.
Dude, I have to run the mile in like an hour.
Oh,
Can
God.
I lay down on your bed? I got a tummy.
We should have paced ourselves. We could have come back later.
We could have came back. And you are left
as
alone.
soon as they're out of eye shot, RG is going to take out the paper from Jeremiah and read what it said.
Panda, do tell.
On the piece of paper, there is the meetup location for the next day, and a passphrase, which is just unfair.
RG folds the paper, puts it in his pocket, and super normally with nothing on his mind follows Ari and friends.
Completely not thinking about anything. No secondary thoughts at all.
And just because they haven't gotten as much screen time, the night will go on. The night will go on, but instead of doing this for all of you, unless we can breeze through it quickly, like RG and we can breeze through it quickly. RG and Ari, you guys take Winnie and Lexi back to your rooms, where I assume you fully divulge the scoop that you got. You know what tomorrow's thing is going to be, and you have kind of committed to doing it together. And then you all go back to your separate rooms. We'll start with Matt. What does it look like, just briefly, alone in your room in Opulo in the Coliseum the night before the mock combat?
That's an excellent question, because I also think Bana has genuinely no idea. Like, I imagine 99% of people in this building right now have been, like, greatly anticipating this for a while. Be they captains, highblades, the trainees, spectators, everyone's been, like, ready. Bana wasn't. He found out about this, like, 3 days ago. He has none of his stuff. Actually, you know what? If there's one thing that he's going to be doing, I didn't say that he took a weapon. I literally said he just grabbed, like, crystals from his lab. If there was bows around, I think what he's just spending the night doing is doing something that he knows to sort of comfort himself and get something on hand. So he took a bow, like a good quality one, from the training station, and is embedding some crystals into it to pass the time and also get stuff ready and give me an explanation for why I have my artificer enhanced bow. So he's just carving into the bow, sticking his crystals in there, and that's now I have my weapon on hand in lore. And he's sort of like, he's doing that for practical reasons, but also actively to do something familiar and avoid thinking about what he's going to have to deal with tomorrow.
Amazing. Winnie and Alexi, Momo, I'll let you decide. It seems like you guys kind of really hit it off on lunch. You kind of maybe related to each other over your love of food, which will bring anybody together. What do you think it looks like in your guys's room that night? I imagine it might be kind of awkward.
Yeah, I don't know if it's that by the time we got down to, like, say, oh yeah, there was a mix-up, he's actually a man. They're like, well, that sucks because there's no more beds available. Or if we just, like, completely forgot to go down there, just like, oh, well, guess we gotta go to sleep.
Like,
either way is fine.
I think you definitely go to the front desk, and he's like, hey, I know I got a girl's name, but you've ruined me with another girl, and exactly that. They're like, same woman. Sorry, toots. We're all out of rooms, completely packed for the weekend. Just, don't be weird about it. And she'll send you on your way.
I guess we'll not be weird about it.
The bureaucratic solution is please just be normal.
Okay.
And your room, so all of your most rooms will have like 2 beds, and they'll have their own private bathroom with the fantasy equivalent of a shower. Crystals and enchantments kind of allow some of these things to be created. There are also like lamps that are like touch lamps that are powered by crystals. The crystal is the light bulb, and things of that nature. I'll just say overall, like Alexi needs to shower and tend to himself before he goes to bed. You probably do too. Alexi is overwhelmingly respectful. Like, if you say you're going to the bathroom, he faces the corner. Even if you're not even going to the shower, he's just like, oh, okay. And he minds your privacy. He goes to bed early. He keeps the light off. It's like the perfect roommate. Just stays out the way. And that's at least what he's up to. I don't know if you have anything to add.
No, I'm also being extremely normal about the situation.
Amazing. As we could all hope to be. It's just an unfortunate situation where you room together. Nothing weird about it at all. RG and Ari, I think for you guys it might be a little more intense. I think at a certain point before bed, Ari will come up to you after you've all like showered and gotten ready and be like, RG, come on, we still got to do our tolerance training. Just because Grandpa's not here doesn't mean we get to skip out.
Okay, but like Grandpa's not here, and I've been thinking, wouldn't it be smart to go in tomorrow like well rested?
It's good for us. RG, come on, hit me. Hit me with it. I'm ready.
RG sighs and is going to use one of his abilities. Toxic Spore Cloud. Here's the spell for the benefit of those of you at home. And also everyone else. You create a 20-foot radius of sphere of toxic spores centered around you. The spore cloud spreads around corners. The cloud lingers in the air for the duration. Each creature that is completely within the cloud at the start of the turn must make a Constitution saving throw against poison. On a failed save, the creature spends its action retching and reeling. Creatures that don't need to breathe or are immune to poison automatically succeed on this saving throw. A moderate wind at least 10 miles per hour disperses the cloud after 4 rounds. A strong wind at least 20 miles per hour disperses it after 1.
There you go. It's
And
basically
mushroom powers. That's RG's thing.
that's RG's thing. And I would love for you to describe what this looks like. How does a spore cloud emit out of you?
RG spreads out his arms, lowers his head, and from his forearms and the back of his neck, just spores of poisonous mushrooms emit from him, covering the room.
And
That
Ari
is so gross.
Ari is going to
understand.
make a Constitution saving throw.
I understand why he didn't want to do that now. Yeah, bud.
I understand why you didn't want to tell Jeremiah what your thing was.
I forgot to give you a DC, but your DCs are going to follow what anchor DCs are, which means at level 1, it'll be a DC 13. And Ari, unfortunately, rolled a 12 with no additional modifiers.
Damn.
So you see Ari
Dang.
sort of stands there as she breathes. She goes, I think I'm getting a little... and just starts
Like,
heaving.
see,
Open
this
a
is
window,
not.
bud.
Heaving.
This is not conducive to us doing physical activity
It's
tomorrow.
making me stronger.
I don't.
Oh my god. And she does that for a solid minute until the cloud becomes dispersed. And she goes, whoo, that is potent. That is potent. Wow. Okay.
Yep.
Your turn. You ready?
No, but do it anyway.
Cool. And her eyes glow white, and her white horns glow white. And I actually need to pull up her little ability card for this. Induce fear. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, DC 13.
DC 13 on the wisdom, which is
These children are
not a good
terrifying.
stat.
Like across the building, I feel like Bana just gets a shiver down his spine at these children and both of their terrifying features that I didn't know about.
I love the idea that
So-
tolerance training is just, if it doesn't kill you, your tolerance is higher now. So hit each other as hard as you can.
Imagery of this horrible grandfather being like, "Hey kids, use your terrifying superpowers on each other till it don't hurt no more."
The fantasy version of if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Exactly.
Speaking of, does a 2 pass?
No.
Yeah.
No, it does not.
I feel
This
so
poor
bad for
kid's
the people
already
in the adjacent
terrified. What are you
room.
gonna do to him?
And now, Mike, I will put this ball in your court as so technically what this does is Ari becomes your source of fear. But however that visualizes in your mind's eye is up to you. What do you see?
First, she's a bulletin board showing everybody who got into the Masmus, and in big red letters, not in the Masmus, didn't get in, Argentum Scritori. She morphs into the form of his grandfather, who says, "It's okay. If I'm being honest, It was expected. I mean, you got mushroom powers, kid. But it's fine. You know, we can find somewhere good in the family company to make use of you. You know, like Cooper. And every inch of disappointment is etched into the wrinkles on his face. He grows, and the face morphs until it's the warped form of a massive tree embedded into the planet. A monument to grandfather's disappointment in Argy, ingrained in the wild itself. And Argy's weeping in the room.
And this goes on for about a minute, but then it just keeps going on, and Ari's like, RG, it's over. It's me. It's me, RG. You're back. You're good. You're good.
It's not tomorrow, right?
No, it's not tomorrow. Tomorrow is tomorrow.
So good. I think I'm gonna go to bed.
Okay. Me too. I you know what? I agree. We've earned it. Good night, RG.
Good night.
And with that...
And he waits till she's asleep. He can't sleep. And he has that meetup spot information. Is that tonight or tomorrow night?
It is tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning. Okay.
So
then RG gets what sleep he can.
And with that, we're going to take our intermission. It's going to be a little 10-minute intermission. And
Mike, you just had that? You just had that fucking speech on lock?
I was given homework.
Oh, god damn, man!
And we're going to take our intermission. It's going to be about 10 minutes. And we will be back for the next day of the Masmis Tryouts. We'll see you there.
Woo.
And we are back. Hey, if you've made it this far in the video, now is a great time to tell you that after we record these, we record an after show. And we talk about the episode we just played through. If you want access to the after show, that is available only on our Patreon for just $5 a month. And I think they're even still doing free trials. So many of you have already subscribed with the announcement of this campaign, which thank you. I think we have the most Patreon subscribers we've ever had right now, which is incredible. But if you want access to the after show, and you also
get the episodes early.
You get the episodes early, the live episodes. You don't get the edited episodes early because I'm editing these myself, and I don't want to kill myself. So edited episodes will still be on Wednesday, but you'll get the live experience early on Sundays, and you, most importantly, get the after show. And we're all going to show off our dice on the Patreon Discord, which is something you also get access to.
Extra stuff too.
But for now, it is day 2 of the tryouts. You've all done your stuff. It's super early in the morning. We're going to kick things off with RG. What are you getting up to, little man?
Well, with the approximately 3.5 hours of sleep I was able to get after my terrifying experience immediately before bed, we're going to go to the spot detailed on Jeremiah's little slip of paper for this very shady meetup. And as a very shady meetup, RG is doing it. He does not want to be spotted. He does not want to be seen.
Cool. Give me a stealth check as you leave your room.
Yeah. The only thing on RG spotted can be his hair. Hell yes. That is a 23 for stealth.
Wow. Yeah, that's going to beat a 3 for perception from Ari. You sneak out of the room unscathed and head to the mysterious location. It's not that far away from the Colosseum, but it's far enough away that you can't, see the Colosseum. Exactly. There's, buildings in the way and such. From here, I'll hand it off to Panda. What does it look like as he approaches? And you're muted, by the way.
Got it. So first question is actually right back at you. How many people did we get?
I'd say you got your quota. We didn't see it, but you managed to get 2 more, and Gwen also pulled 3. And I will say, just for the sake of simplicity, that RG is actually the last one to show up.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So technically we're 1 over quota. Because I got 2. Is it 2 more plus RG, or is it 2 more? Is it 3 plus RG?
It's 2 more plus RG, so you have 3.
I have 3. Okay. So first thing, you're walking up and you're seeing 5 other people, all in this little clearing. It's fucking break of day. No one's awake. The sun is technically rising.
Holy shit, I got art for this. Holy shit. Hold on.
Oh, that's perfect.
Hold on, I got art. I got art. Everybody calm the fuck down. Where?
Chill out.
Everybody chill the fuck out. Where's my art for this?
Break of dawn. There is 6 other people who you can tell are being just as sneaky as you. Some of them have like cloaks on, hoods to cover their heads and their faces. They're trying to not really be known, but also they know what they're here. They kind of know the gist of what they were told, and why they're here. There's 2 rocks that you're walking up to. On one side of the rocks, there is a man standing there. You don't recognize him, and he's not dressed in any of the Masmus gear. In fact, he looks, to be completely honest, a little bit like a raider. Like, he's wearing, like, some roughed up leather armor, but he looks like he's ready to run. And then sitting on one of the 2 rocks is a lady, which was my partner. You don't know her, but again, she's wearing the same kind of style, leather armor and all of that, and walking out from behind like the bushes in the clearing of the little section that you're walking up to. I step out wearing a red tattered, what looks like a former Masmus cloak, over the top of raider gear like the other 2. And I come and sit down on the rock and look at the 6 people and just kind of give a once over of everybody there. You know, I am going to cut to the chase because I know it's an important day for a lot of you. How many of you, if you're being honest, have joined the Masmus of your own accord?
RG gives a half and half.
Nobody else raises their hand.
That's what I thought. You see, the second that you were born blessed, you had no choice over your life. You had no choice over anything. This place is supposed to be good. We're supposed to be the free ones. But because you had the audacity to be born, and to be born useful, you now have 2 choices. I don't think that's fair. We don't think that's fair. And I know that everything that we have been taught our entire lives has told us that that is fair, that that is true. But I have the sneaking suspicion that the rest of you think the same way we do. Now, I am not going to take the choice away from you, because everybody in your life has already done that. I am presenting you a third option. You can walk back into those doors. You can go back to the training, to the tryouts. You can go back to the Masmus, and you can become what the world wants you to become. Or you can go to the church, and you can help people in your own way, but you're already here, meaning you didn't want to do that to begin with. Or you can come with us. And I won't sugarcoat it. It will be hard. It will be unlike anything you've ever experienced before. It will not be safe. You will not have the protections that these walls give you. You will not have the protections that this world gives you. But you will be free. And no one will ever make a choice for you again. So I'm asking you all to make a choice. The first choice that you've really had in your entire lives. You can turn around and walk back through those doors, and we will not stop you. Stay or go.
I have a question. Are questions
Please.
allowed?
Yes, of course.
What do you guys do? Are you a society? A community? Your whole pitch is freedom, but there's a group of you? Where do you go? What do you do? How do you live? Is this a good alternative?
We are a community. We are a group of like-minded people, both blessed and not blessed. And we live and survive with each other, off of each other, by helping each other in the ways that we can.
At this point, Gwen speaks up and says, we have something of what we like to call a sanctuary. It's far away from here, and it doesn't come with all the social, societal responsibility bullshit that they try to sell you. Okay? It's nice.
Okay, right, but like rah freedom. What if someone decides their freedom is killing everyone else in the community? Do you live and let by? Do you punish them? What if people decide to leave? Who leads you? I'm sorry, I'm just very skeptical at this whole, I'm sorry to call it, rickshaw approach to society building.
The inner politics of where we come from isn't really something that we can give in an elevator pitch right here, but it's not something that was thrown together in a day, and it's not something that has only existed for this year, 5 years. This has been around longer than you or me. It's a community. It's a community that leads each other. It's a community that decides together. And it is still a burgeoning community, but it is one without this. And he points back to the Colosseum. It is one without these responsibilities. It is one without the forced choice of this. What we decide to become later is something that we decide as a community, as a group. But this is not the way. This is not the way that we better each other. This is not the way that we lead each other.
You have to choose now.
Well, that's a great elevator pitch, but I think I'll go with the worldview that I had for 18 years of arguments worth rather than the last 5 minutes. But good luck. You're clearly have a lot of passion for this project. I hope it works out for you. But it is extremely not for me. And if I could say, I don't appreciate being made to feel so socially awkward in front of you yesterday because this is weird. This is way weirder than when I was bringing to the table. And I just feel I need to say that and stand up for myself. I had a rough night and
Wow.
not much sleep.
Anybody else? And you see Stanitsky Greenwater goes, nah, man, I'm in. And gets on the bus. You see someone with like cat ears gets on. Everybody else, someone with like gills gets on. And then a couple other people who just look normal but are clearly obviously blessed all get on. And it's just Argy left.
Last chance.
This is what you do with your life? Did you ever try out for the Masmas?
No.
Well, I have to hand it to you. You have come up with a really self-righteous way of quitting. I commend you for it.
Sleep good. And I lean up, and the guy who was standing next to me, you feel a prick in your neck, and all of a sudden the world goes crazy.
Uh-oh.
And RG falls asleep, but is also kind of hallucinating. And RG, probably about 30 minutes later, you wake up in your room. Ari's still asleep, and it kind of feels like you had this crazy dream that you went and actually met up with those people that gave you that note. Can you imagine how insane that would be?
Also, you don't have a note.
Interesting.
And for all intensive purposes, as a player, RG believes that was just a fucking weird dream.
Well, I have great news for you. RG's an aspiring writer, and he journals like a motherfucker. So this is either going into the Happen Journal or the Dream Journal, and it's going in the Dream Journal. But there is a record going forward.
Fantastic.
Just to say, I feel that's fair.
Yeah, absolutely. He
That
writes
is fair.
everything.
It's 100% fair.
100% in character already.
With that, we're going to fast forward, since we're already a little over on my projected time for this. We're going to fast forward. We're not skipping anything, but we're fast forwarding to the time the tryouts is going to begin. Let me switch back to this other screen. The arena is fucking packed, gang. The crowd is loud. The hustle and bustle of everybody. It's a few hours later or after this time. It's still kind of early in the morning. It's before lunch at the very least. As this shindig all starts going down, and as it is about to start, a man. So there's this giant stadium. I should probably describe this for you. There's this giant coliseum with seating. It looks like the Super Bowl, but in fantasy. It's even bigger than the coliseum that we know in our world because it's made to do mock combat with giants. So even though you're in this seating that goes up hundreds of feet at an angle, it comes to the edge, and then the edge drops off like another 50 feet in order to give the giants enough room to, be giants. And it's just huge. The arena this year is mostly dirt, but with large boulders and rocks and debris all over the place. There is a large gate on one of the ends, big enough to fit a giant through, and there's a smaller gate on the other end, big enough to fit people. And that's the kind of setup you see. The energy is electric, and a man walks up and using this crystal megaphone, we're calling it now, a megaphone and embedded in crystals to amplify his voice to everyone in this massive coliseum. You hear a man go, "Hello and welcome and one and all to the 30th annual Madness Tryouts. I'm your announcer, Buckley Scruggs, and we have one heck of a heater for you today, ladies and gentlemen. As always, we are joined by our noble leader, the Prime Warden of Cazilor, Abel Ingram." And you see an older black man get up out of this really ornate chair with Cazilorian flags hanging behind it. He has his own special seat. And he gets up. He's got like a salt and pepper thing going on in his beard and a really nice close trimmed haircut. And he waves to everybody. It's clearly like a ceremonious thing. And everyone's like, yeah, it's the Prime Warden's here. It's freaking crazy. And the crowd all goes nuts. And Buckley Scruggs continues. He goes, "And today we have a very special guest to announce the style of combat for this year's tryouts. It's the wind between the trees, the blind spot in your eye, the legendary Cazilorian spy, Forget-Me-Not!" And the crowd goes crazy. everybody here knows who Forget-Me-Not is. That's Forget-Me-Not spelled N-A-U-T as an astronaut.
That's the most comic book thing you've ever said,
Yeah.
and I love it. Nathan, oh my god, that's so good.
All of you know who this is. Legendary spy. Probably around the age of Matt, but nobody actually truly knows. Sorry, the age of Bana, not Matt. Nobody actually truly knows because nobody knows anything about Forget-Me-Not. Forget-Me-Not comes out and says, hello, it's so great to be amongst so many friends. I spend all my days behind enemy lines. It feels quite nice to not have to be looking over my shoulder. I won't waste any more of your time. The combat style for the 30th annual Masmus Tryouts will be a rescue mission. The crowd fucking cheers. In squads of 4. The crowd goes fucking berserk. They go, thank you all for your love. I wish the best of luck to all of our contestants. If the people here today are any sign of what's to come for our nation, then the future of Cazilor has never looked so bright. Goodbye, everyone. I hope you never forget me, although I know you will. Ciao. And as they leave, sure enough, despite them standing in the attention of everyone in this Coliseum, none of you can remember what they looked like. All you can remember is their voice, but that's not much of a tell because it's completely androgynous. Nobody knows what they look like, nobody knows what they were wearing, and nobody knows where they went. That's the gift of Forget-Me-Not.
Matt, are you having the same thoughts I am?
Is Bana here in this? I'm assuming he is. So I just want to. Everyone else is cheering. Bana hates this motherfucker for sort of lore reasons that will be like Bana. Everyone else is cheering. Bana's dead silent. Bana's clearly uncomfortable with this. Does not like this notion of this person who is automatically forgot.
Yeah, and can seem to do it at a mass scale. Now, Forget-Me-Not goes away. And with that, the announcer comes back up and says, all of you contestants now have 30 minutes to assemble yourself into groups of 4 and sign yourself up for a time slot. Good luck out there. And contestants start scrambling to get their shit together. But thankfully for some of our players, we already kind of know what the deal is. We got the in. Shout out Grandpa. Yeah. And with that, I think we can just cut straight ahead to your time slot. I need everyone
I'm still mentally thinking, like, did we do this before breakfast so that we could comfortably eat breakfast afterwards? Or did we do it after breakfast?
You had time to eat breakfast if you wanted.
Probably an advisedly sized down breakfast from the deal yesterday. I think your team would advise.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you need the energy.
Pre-game breakfast so that we wouldn't be too hungry for this. And now we're going to eat breakfast after this.
Yeah, we'll do brunch. We'll do either a success brunch or a commiserate brunch, you know?
Yes. Absolutely.
Right.
I think that's a great idea.
For those who are in combat, if you could go into roll 20. I'm going to pull up the Coliseum map.
As you're doing that, should I do our little spiel that we
Yes,
discussed
go
earlier?
ahead.
Okay, cool. So, as some of you who have been following the pre-announcements for this campaign already know, Nathan and I have been working very hard for literally months to set up our own giant fighting mechanics. The squad roles that we've been mentioning, I believe they've all 3 been mentioned at this point, Anchor, Climber, and Stalwart. Those are not just lore things, those are mechanics things. It is like a new sort of subclass that you can add on to your characters, and it has specific rules and details and new abilities for how all that stuff works, specifically in combat against giants. I'm not going to go into it now because you're about to see a demonstration of it, but if you would like to try this out for yourself, that is something that you can do, or at least if you're watching this in the VOD form on YouTube or Spotify or whatever podcasting platform, then you can do it for yourself. we are working on a full-length source book for the Cazilor setting. Now that's well in the works, but we have released, as of again Wednesday, the day this VOD goes up, the playtest material for this mechanics for free. We have a little one-shot that I have written that is going to introduce a little bit more of the lore of the system and take you through some like pre-built characters, how to fight giants, stuff like that. It is again available for free on Nathan's website, nathanapollo.com.
Yes.
We have the system there. We also have a playtesting feedback form. So our one request in exchange for giving it away for free is if you run it with a couple of friends, it can accommodate, like, we recommend 3 players up to 3 to 6. If you run it with your friends, just fill out the playtesting feedback form. Tell us what you thought, what you liked, what you didn't like.
Yeah.
And we're going to take that into consideration as we keep working on the mechanics going forward.
Yeah. And I was going to add something very important to that. Oh, just a reminder. It's not available yet, but if you're watching this on YouTube, it is. So it'll become available on Wednesday. Also, you might have seen this happen already throughout the episode, but especially for combat, you might see a lot of cuts. This is because combat can get very lengthy and boring. And so we're not going to be cutting out anything important, but we're going to try and slim down a lot of stuff like waiting for people to roll damage or, stuff like that. Let us know what you think of it in the comments or in the Patreon Discord, the new edited style, because I'm the editor and I will directly read your feedback and make changes if I need to. That said, Argy, Ari, Winsome, and Lexi all walk out to the thunderous roar of probably the most people that have ever had eyes on you in your life. Thousands and thousands of people coming to watch this. If you look out onto the battlefield, you see we do have character tokens, but art is being hidden right now, so we're just going to use these. But you will see 2 giants in the center. Now, these aren't captured Atrarian giants. These are Masmus giants who are taking some time. They got fucking tryout duty. And so they are playing the bad guy for this combat. So yeah, select your little markers, declare what color you would like to be, and then Ari and Ari Ari and Lexi will pick the other ones.
I'm pre-established to be a blue boy. I'll pick blue.
Blue boy.
Yeah, but I will pick the black one.
There we go. And then Lexi will be the white one, and then Ari will be the purple one. As you guys come out, Bugly Scruggs gets on the megaphone and goes, "Next up, we have a group of 4, as always. These next contestants are Alexi Deluck, Winsome Rosenthorn, Archie Scritori, and Arm Scritori. Wish our contestants the best of luck by making some noise!" And everyone fucking screams. And Bugly goes, "Your goal is to get to the other end of the arena and rescue that poor soul." And you will see at the other end of the arena is just some guy just sitting there waiting to be rescued.
Oh, Jesus.
You all are starting on horses. They gave you horses in the training area, and so you get 60 feet of movement. Once you dismount your horse, you lose it. Or if you fall off your horse, you lose it. It runs away to safety. That's what they're trained to do. With that, Bugly Scruggs goes, "I wish you the best of luck, and begin!" And I'll need everyone to roll initiative. Everyone in combat, that is.
I got an 8 on initiative.
8.
I got a 16. I won't show my dice because that's a spoiler.
Oh.
Aram got a 19. Lexi rolled a 13 flat.
And we're not supposed to attack them, right?
So that's actually a great question. So they have padded weapons, and they also have like armor on, which is expensive for giants to do because they're so freaking big. But you, like RG, you using your climbing axes on these guys isn't gonna kill them. It's gonna like hurt, but it's part of the job, So you are fully expected to still do your duties. Winnie, you're fighting ranged, right? Mm-hmm. You probably just have like blunt arrows, and they count the hits that you're actually getting on them. Ari will actually be using anchoring gear because again, it would hurt, but it's not going to kill him. And Argy, when you get to the top, little bit of spoiler. Point of a climber is to climb to the top of the neck and deal some death blows to the neck. When you get to the top, instead of actually, killing these guys, they have little like red flags that you have to cut off.
Oh.
So that's...
Someone in chat asked a good question that I was also actually going to bring up. This is the first time we've seen giants, just for the benefit of the audience.
Yes.
What's the height range that we're talking here?
The typical giant height range knows no bounds, but the average giant height range is about 30 to 50 feet tall. These guys are probably only like 30 feet tall.
Yeah, I'll throw in, just for the benefit of the viewers, those things that you're seeing in the top left and the top right, that obviously that's from our new mechanics. Each one of them corresponds to one of the giants. You will see what they mean as you go, but it basically tracks like height and how tied down they are by anchoring things and stuff like that. It's basically a tracker for their stats, or their like debuff stats.
Yes.
And I'm sure we would have discussed this, but is the goal of this exercise to just rescue the person?
Just rescue the person. You are not expected to take out these giants, but I'm sure it would look good.
I also don't know when the exercise is called. Is it called once you rescue the person? Or is it called...
So once you rescue the person, but I mean, if you get rid of both of the giants, you're obviously going to rescue the person too. So both of them count as a win. If you were watching other people...
But hypothetically, you could be in the process of killing the giants, but if person is safe,
yes, then it's done. Yep.
Okay.
And you've been watching all morning. These other people run these combats, and nobody has actually got both of them. Got both the giants.
Okay. I'm just trying to see what is for Ari's sake. Winnie does not give a shit. She's just like, all right, rescue the person and get out, but also don't perform too well so they don't pick you. But also, you can't let Lexi die because he's so nice.
Right.
But also, Ari is not gonna let us not extremely succeed.
Yeah, for sure. That is a tough balance for you. For you,
yeah,
that will
I'm
be a tough
trying to think what is an extreme success so I don't do that.
All right. We've got our initiative cooking. First up on the agenda is Ari. And Ari is going to immediately kick away on her horse and be like, we're taking these guys out, and run. She's going to run sort of this direction, 60 feet on her horse, click, 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 galloping away. As she rides out, you can hear the indiscernible voice of your grandpa going, go get him, RG and Ari, come on! Just louder than... There's like thousands of people in this stadium, but somehow he's the loudest.
It's like a Little League game times 1,000.
She's going to move. She wields her longbow and takes a shot at this first guy.
I don't know if we've established. I don't think she had a card. What class is Ari?
Preferred squad role is Anchor, so she'll be working mainly with ranged weapons. Her class is a Hunter Ranger.
Oh, interesting.
Anchor.
And she rolls to hit, and she in fact does on this red one here. And as we saw before in the training room, the arrow collides with the armor, and a root shoots out and roots itself into the ground, giving this giant 1 anchor point. Incredible. That is her entire turn. This is level 1 combat. So it is now Winnie's turn.
Okay, so the first thing with my turn, I'm going to turn to Lexi and give him some watchful aid and just say, hey, don't die during this. So we're supposed to get brunch after. And we haven't hit up 4 stalls, so be safe.
Hey,
and
thank you. I'll try my best. Yes. And is it a D8 or a D6?
It's a D6.
A D6 at level
watchful
1.
Aid.
For everybody watching, Watchful Aid, because there's no spell casting in Cazilor, Watchful Aid is basically our squad roll equivalent of Bardic Inspiration, but it's a little bit stronger.
And again, for level 1 or level 3, I believe actually, level 3 mechanics for playtesting, all available for free if you want to take the specific look at any of these.
Yes.
So everything the players are going to use from our system in this combat NathanApollo.com. If you use it, just give us the feedback.
Yeah, we have special mechanics that go all the way up to level 10 for this world, but only level 3 is available.
And I'm going to use my full movement to sort of get in both directions of these giants. God, I think I'm gonna take I'm gonna fire an arrow at the blue one to try to draw its attention towards me.
Okay.
So that some of my compatriots can go around and rescue the guy, the civilian.
Yes. Now, I'm going to leave this up to you, Momo.
Mm-hmm.
At level 1, stalwarts get an ability called Masmus Mounted Combatant, which means if you're on a horse and fighting someone a size greater than your mount, you get advantage. But also, Momo, Winnie doesn't really give a shit. So it's up to you if you think you would be, if you want that right now.
You're right. I think I'll roll it flat. I'll roll it flat. And my first roll was a 12 on the die.
A 12? Is that after modifiers or 12
that
on
is
the die?
before modifiers. And I get a +2. Just kidding, I get a +6.
That will hit. So go ahead and roll damage on that. I forgot to roll damage for Ari, which I need to do right now. In reality, they're just counting hits, but for me, I'm counting hit points. You get the deal.
So I hit that giant, and I'm just like, oh, come after me, I guess.
Fantastic. He gets hit. And you know, it's playful banter. It's the tryouts. But he's like, I will. You can count on it. And how much?
However much he's joking, God, that still must be terrifying.
The voice booming from this giant. How much damage did you do?
Oh shoot, I forgot to roll for damage.
Yeah, roll damage.
That's 6 damage.
6 damage. Ari ended up doing 7 damage to the other one, so they're both slightly damaged. Cool. That puts us at the red token giant's turn. The red token giant is going to move. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And puts them just within range of you. Because they have a range of 10 feet.
This is gonna hurt, isn't it?
They're going to take a swing with their padded club, which does non-lethal bludgeoning damage. What's your AC? It doesn't matter. Because a 24 is definitely going to hit. So you are going to take 12 halved, because you're blessed, to
oh shit
to 6 non-lethal bludgeoning damage.
I'm almost dead.
Yep.
I'm almost dead.
He said he was gonna go get you. I mean,
well, how much HP do you have?
12. Like if I was normal, I'd be down. Completely down.
This might be a good time to say that our giant fighting mechanics, like in this universe, giants are bosses. Like this is not every combat is not going to, like, these are meant to be hard fights. If you're fighting something 3 times your size at minimum, like these mechanics are designed for hard fights. You're
not going to stumble across these guys. So that's
like,
its entire...
Mentally, I knew I was level 1, but like emotionally, I was acting like I was level 3.
That is its entire turn. And so now we move on to Lexi.
Wait, quick question. Am I still on the horse, or am I now?
You are still on the horse. You only fall off if you fall prone.
Gotcha.
Or if you go unconscious, obviously. But it's now Lexi's turn. Lexi also has goals to be a stalwart. And so he goes, "Yo, Winnie, watch out, be careful out there." And you also get a D6 of Watchful Aid to add to any attack roll, saving throw, or ability check. He's going to take a different route, I think. He's not even going to attack. He's going to take the dash action and just get cooking. By the way, Lexi is a human fighter. Oh, he's too low of a level to have a subclass yet, but that's what he is. He's going to try to wheel around the back. So he's going to go here first and then run another 60 feet on this warhorse, just flying around the back, trying to get to these people on the other side. That's his entire turn. Moving on, it is now RG's turn.
Yippee. I get to act. RG is going to go... I almost want to take an indirect route, but there kind of isn't an indirect route.
You could follow Lexi.
Yeah, but we gotta kill those giants. And I know if Grandpa sees me going for the person, he's gonna scold me from the stands. It's a Little League game times 1,000. So we're gonna move here.
All right.
Next to Ari.
Next to Ari.
And a little bit behind the rock. So hopefully not too in the giant's sight. And that's the turn. Because a level 1 a level 1 rogue does not have cunning action. So we're done.
You can use your action, if you're not going to attack, to dash and move farther if you want. And I
Is
assume
that
you
not
also...
what cunning action does?
You
Or
can
am I
always
mistaken?
use your action to dash and just get your movement again. Cunning action
Oh.
Just
lets you
allows
do that
you
for
to-
free.
Yeah.
Yeah, cunning action gives you a free dash. It is not a dash is not a rogue feature.
Right, because you can
specifically.
apply it to bonus.
Well, yeah,
right.
technically it's not free. It lets you do it as a bonus action.
Yeah.
Yes.
Same difference.
Okay, in that case, we have the opportunity to not be so bunched up.
Yes.
So I think RG's gonna dash to this rock formation.
All right. Swooping around the boulders on your horse, fast as the wind, Bullseye. That is your entire turn, I believe. It is now the other giant's turn. And the other giant is going to intercept, or attempt to, squeezing through these rocks. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Can't get close enough to anybody to do anything, so that is his entire turn. We now loop back around to Ari. Ari is going to shout over to you, RG, and be like, don't forget to use your gift! Taking her own advice, she runs up, and in a 30-foot cone, she'll do this so she doesn't hit Winnie, if she can. In a 30-foot cone, she is going to... I wonder if she can get both of them. Hold on. No. In a 30-foot cone, her eyes are going to glow white, and her horns glow equally as luminescent. Winnie, this is the first time you're ever seeing anything like this. And so, same for you, Captain Baina. And same for everyone here in the audience. The audience loses their fucking minds when this shit happens. Like, seeing gifted people at the tryouts is kind of rare because they usually get their gift in the Masmus. And so, this shit's cool as fuck. And is going to induce fear. The giant's going to have to make a wisdom saving throw, which it is not that good at. And it fails. And becomes frightened. As it's frightened, it gains 1 conditional anchor point. The giant, now that it has reached this threshold, the red giant has a speed of 0.
Yeah, to very quickly give some more context on how this works, I won't go into the specifics of the abilities. But basically, special anchor abilities or anything that would impede a giant's movement give giants things called anchor points. Stronger giants can take more of them, but when they get to half of their threshold of anchor points, they cannot move. They have to somehow free up their movement before they can move anywhere on the field. If they somehow get to their full threshold and both of those columns are filled, they get pulled down to the ground entirely.
Yep.
So that's the role of anchors, is basically debuffing and trying to immobilize the giant so that they don't just have free reign to stomp all over the battlefield.
And so long as Ari is in view of this giant, the giant will have to... Or the giant repeats the saving throw every turn, so long as Ari is in view. The giant, this happens to him, and he goes, ah! What the fuck? And we have no idea what he's seeing. But that's happening, and the crowd's going fucking crazy. That's Ari's turn. Blitzing along. Winnie, you're up.
Do I get the feeling that, like, because this giant is immobilized / scared, I can skirt around him and he can't make any sort of attacks on me?
To reveal the mechanics, having the frightened condition, he could make an attack, but it would be with disadvantage.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna leave his range.
Okay?
Let's see, can I get around this way?
You can also go through giants, because they're so big. You don't have to, like, go around.
Okay.
You can go through the legs.
I'm afraid of getting stomped, and I have 6 hit points, so I'm just gonna go do a sneaky little get all the way over here, away from that.
Okay? He's gonna...
Because that was no fun. No fun getting stomped on.
He's gonna try to make an attack at you.
All right.
Yeah, that's not gonna do it.
Please.
Swing and a miss.
Ooh.
Thanks to Ari's
like
disadvantage.
I duck, and I'm like
Huge
skirting
dust
out of
cloud plumes up behind you, right where you were standing, as a giant padded club slams into the ground. That's probably taller
That'd
than
be
your
so
house.
cool. That'd be so cool animated because there's the cloud and then the horse rides out of it.
Yep,
Oh.
exactly.
Oh.
That was, I think I did 45, so 60 minus 45 is how much?
15. You have 15 more
All right.
for just
so
your
I'm gonna
movement.
use it to get right here. I see RG over there. I think I might be within range to hit the. Am I in range to hit?
It's
I
60
think
feet away.
Yeah. How tall are these boulders? Am I able to shoot over it, or
You could shoot. You could shoot over it. They're nowhere near as tall as the giants.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna shoot over the boulder just so that this small boy doesn't get squished.
Out of all the things that Winnie has been avoiding about the Masmus, she does so happen to be good with a bow.
All right. Ugh. I actually I think I do hit. That's a 14.
That
hit.
does hit. Go ahead and roll
Ah,
damage
man.
on that.
All right. Yeah, let's see. And I rolled very low too. I rolled really high with my damage. God, why am I good at this? That's 9
Fuck.
damage.
Why am I good at this? Stop. 9 damage on the blue one?
Yeah.
Noted. Noted. That's your movement and your action. You still have a bonus action. You could give another watchful aid to someone.
I give one to. Am I within 60? I have to be within 60 feet of them. I don't know if I am not within any range with of anyone that.
And you already gave one to Lexi, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Moving right along, it is the Red Giant's turn. Has to spend their entire action retching and reeling. Will use a bonus action at the end of its turn to try and break one of these anchor points that it has on it, and it will break one of them, leaving it with just the one that the frightened condition is giving it. And at the end of its turn again, it will be making a wisdom save to become no longer frightened. Wisdom is not a good stat for this guy, and does not get it. That is the Red Giant's entire turn, but he can now move if he wants to. It is Lexi's turn. Same plan as before. He's on the freaking move. Let's stop measuring with a cone and let's measure with a line. He gets 120 feet of movement. We'll say he can get just about there. Kablooey. At this point, Lexi can see the person sitting there just kind of like twiddling their thumbs, just waiting to be rescued. They're playing the damsel in distress today. That's his entire turn. Moving on. RG, you're up.
All right. As brave and cool as it certainly would be to go after the blue giant, let's go after the red giant that's already been taken care of by our stalwarts. That's a circle, but we know it's enough because it's like 45 feet to get here.
Uh-huh.
And attempt a mounting attack.
Mounting
That
attack.
is the correct terminology?
That
yes.
is.
Basically, I make an attack roll. If I succeed, I mount the creature, and we can start climbing.
Correct.
I'll get to that in a second. Also, there's some really good tech with cunning action, which is
Yes.
actually why I should have been upset that I didn't
Yes.
have it. But we will get to that when we have cunning action. Also, unrelated, nat 20 for the
Hey!
climbing attack.
Nat 20.
The Scritoris tag teaming
The Scritoris.
very well.
Wow.
Yes.
You run up and perform a fucking textbook mounting attack. You stand up on your horse as it is riding towards this giant. No reins necessary. You've done this hundreds of times in your grandpa's backyard. And you ride up and just ka-chunk right into its thigh. And you are bink mounted. You don't have the movement to do a climbing maneuver this turn because you had to spend that to get there, but roll damage for that.
We want a super quick explanation of how that works. When a climber is mounted on a giant that can be climbed, their piece overlaps with the giants on the battlefield, and we put a little marker in the climbing zones, which you can see there. That little red triangle is now RG. And basically, as RG successfully moves up, he's going to go up that tracker, and then when he gets to the top, he can do extra things. That's how we decided to track height, rather than doing anything complicated. It's as simple as you go up, and then there's just levels on a little scale.
Yep.
Very easy.
So now these two, if this red giant moves, RG moves with it because he is actively climbing it. What is that damage? Don't forget to do double damage.
Yeah, the D6 came to play. That was a 5 and a 6,
Woo!
which plus damage bonuses makes for 13 damage.
13 damage.
Killing this.
Sheesh. Wow. All right. That is, I believe, your whole turn. You don't have any bonus action stuff, I don't think. Not at this
Nope.
level. And so We now move on to the blue giant, the blue token giant, who is going to... he's going to see that Lexi's making progress and again try to play interference. So he's going to run back. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. But that's all he can do. Just running interference. That is his turn. Matt.
Had to unmute me.
Matt. You are watching all of this go down. It's probably the most exciting one of the day. It's the first one with gifted people in it. So it's very cool to see. You're sitting with, I assume, Highblade Vera, probably taking notes. All of a sudden, Amphis starts getting real active on you and slips off and slithers away.
Oh, I'm dropping everything to go see what that's about. That doesn't happen often. I think literally, like, I have my notebook. If Vera's sitting next to me, I'd literally just slap the notebook to her chest, get up, and leave.
And she goes, "Where are you? Baina!"
Snake.
Oh.
Snake, and then I just leave. She's probably, if we have any history together, she's probably seen me do this at least once.
You follow Amphis. He's flying. You've never seen him act like this before. He flies through the hallways. They're empty because everyone's watching.
Calling after him with something whispering, Amphis, what? Oh, goddamn.
Just slithering away. Amphis goes all the way to the room of your dorm and slithers under the crack.
I get to the door and I'm like, there's nothing in, okay? And then I genuinely thinking there's probably nothing that, like, maybe it would be more strategic, but I just open it. Snake's already in there. I would know if there was something wild, I think.
When you open it, it's tricky to describe this because you see somebody.
Always great to hear from a DM.
You see somebody, but it's like they exist in your blind spot.
It's that motherfucker.
And they go, "Hello, Captain Baina. I'd like to have a quick conversation." And you see Amphis like slithers right up to the source of this voice. And again, in this moment, you can see them, but by the time this is over, you will not remember what they looked like or anything. And Amphis is like swirling around this person, not in like an antagonistic way, in like a...
in an excited way, in some sense, I'm assuming, yeah. So there is a solid, like, several seconds of silence, and then Bane just goes, "No, I'd rather, there's things happen. I respect what you've done for Cazilor, but also I find you, I'm just going to say, incredibly unsettling. No offense, I'm sure you get that a lot."
Yes, I do get it a lot, and that's okay. I understand, but I'm afraid there is something that you need to hear. And we're going to cut away from that and go straight back into initiative order with Ari. Ari is going to, having already used her ability, she is going to do all she can and fire an anchoring arrow one more time. She doesn't even really need to move. She's going to roll and do that. That's definitely going to hit. And they will gain an anchor point. Once again, they can no longer move. And that's her whole fucking turn. Level 1 combat. Winnie, you're up.
Okay, so I don't like how close this blue giant is getting to Lexi, so I'm going to get real close, try to draw his fire.
Okay.
Try to get him to come for me instead. Let's see, that is... Oh, come on. That's fully gonna hit. That's 17 on the die.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna hit. Go ahead and roll damage for that.
That's 6 damage.
6 damage on the blue boy. Incredible.
This way, over here. You don't want to go over there. It's dangerous. You want to come over here to me.
He kind of turns around and goes, "How about I just take on both of you?"
I don't actually think that's possible.
It's possible for me.
I don't know.
And
I mean, okay.
He doesn't move, but that is that. Bonus action. You can reach RG with a watchful aid if you want.
You're right, I can. I'll be like, "RG, don't fall off. It's real high, and you're gonna crack your head open like an egg."
RG has a moment where he visibly, like, has vividly pictured that in his brain. Okay, thanks. Try not to.
And you get a d6 to add to any ability check or attack roll. This works on climbing maneuvers, and it works on, soon-to-be, death blows. That is Winnie's turn. It is now the red giant. The red giant can't move. He has to spend his whole action being scared. Oh, wait, no. Their whole retching and reeling thing is the toxic spores. They could have been making attacks with disadvantage last time, but they couldn't move, and nobody was around them, so it's fine. They can't move, and there's only one person within their range. So they are going to attempt to grab you. This is an opposed check. You need to beat, and you can use your Watchful Aid for this. Oof. You need to beat a 7.
Oh, okay.
Acrobatics or athletics.
Heck yeah. Oh, well, meets it, beats it, but that's a 7.
Meets it, beats it.
The Watchful Aid die?
No, I didn't use my Watchful Aid. I did not use my Watchful Aid. That
Okay.
was
not
3
needed.
on the
You
die, plus 4.
Hastily avoid
7.
getting grabbed. You shimmy around to the giant's rear end as it slaps at its thigh, and you shimmy over to a safe spot on its left butt cheek. Excellent work.
RG's killing it with the cinematics because there's 2 ways that an attack can look cool, and that's if it's perfectly executed or just barely makes it. And RG's hit both of them consecutively.
That is the giant's attack. It's once again going to try and bonus action break a thing, but it gets disadvantage because it's still frightened. That will do it. Ari's anchors aren't working so great, but wisdom save at the end of its turn, and a 19 will do it. This thing has no anchor points and can now move about freely, but it hasn't gotten a great opportunity to so far. That is the red giant. We now go over to Lexi. Lexi's time to shine. He is within 40 feet. He runs over, spends his action, hoisting this person onto their horse. And then he's going to use the other 20 feet of movement he has to loop around the other side. So he's going to go 5, 10, 15, 20. And he is on the move. He's got the hostage or the person who needs rescued in his hand. And he's making his way back around. The crowd goes fucking nuts. With that, RG, it's actually your turn.
All right. We are mounted on the creature. We avoided being thrown off, and now we're going to attempt a climbing maneuver, which is basically using your movement action to make an opposed check and attempt to climb further up the beast, the creature.
This time,
giant.
you need to beat an 17.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he's not frightened anymore. Psych. Yeah, you got to be a 17.
Okay. I can't beat that with the Watchful Aid die.
What do you
because
have
that's a
currently?
9.
After modifiers, it's a 9?
9.
Okay.
Yes.
Then you just can't get good footing, and you stay where you are.
But
But,
I can use an ability.
yes, you can.
Because not only do I have the Toxic Spore Cloud as part of my gift, I also have the ability Get a Grip.
Yes.
3 times per long rest. When you fail an opposed check to conduct a climbing maneuver, you can activate your gift. Spreading mushroom from any surface you can touch. This mushroom gives you an extra handhold to assist your climb. Reroll the opposing check, but you must take the results of the new roll. And
Ooh,
hopefully...
Using your powers.
that's neat. I didn't know you had that ability.
So go ahead and re-roll that as a mushroom sprouts from the giant's armor somehow magically. Uh-oh.
Oh, that's really clever, though. Just make handholds. I love that.
The last roll was a 5 on the die. This roll was a 3.
And after modifiers?
7. So I think I will use the Watchful Aid, because otherwise...
Failing by
It
10
would
or
be
more
bad.
means you fall.
Yes.
So use that watchful
Climber
aid die.
is the risky one. You fail by too much, you drop a zone instead.
The roll is a 9 anyway. I rolled a 2 on the d6. God damn.
But a
it's
cool
still-
ability.
It works, right?
It
I
saved
made a
him from...
mushroom
it
on
saves
his
him
left
from
ass
falling.
cheek,
It's-
and fell to the ground.
You do not fall. You save yourself from falling because he rolled a 17, you rolled a 9. You did not lose by 10 or more. So you just stay where you are. That is your movement. That ability is just something you can inherently do when you fail a check. You still have your action.
Yeah, might as well make an attack roll.
Yeah.
No, wait. I don't have to make an attack roll. I can use Toxic Spore Cloud.
Here we go, baby.
More gift things, and maybe the audience will think I made the mushroom on his butt to have this happen. That is only one per long rest, though. So
One
this is
per
the only
long
time,
rest, yeah. But it
um,
completely consumes the giant in this cloud. It's a con save, DC 13, as this stinky cloud of spores appears, and everyone goes, "Oh! Is that what the fuck is that?" And giants do have good con. He does beat it. But
Dang.
if he remains in the cloud, then he'll have to make that save again at the start of its turn. That is your entire turn. Blue Giant's turn. Oh boy, it's tough. Where to go, where to go. I think he's going to try and run interception still. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And actually, maybe even take a whole dash action just to get in the way. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. To sort of block Lexi's escape with the hostage. That's his entire turn. Matt. Forget-Me-Not says, unfortunately, I have something very important to tell you.
And Bana just kind of looks at him first and goes, "Am I going to remember it?"
Oh, I'll make sure of it. Things are at work. The powers that be, the Atrarians, they're preparing something. I don't know what it is. I'm about to head out on an excursion to find out. But I know it's big. And I need to give you this. And they hand you a crystal. It's red.
I mean, can I do an Arcana check on it immediately? Because
Sure.
that's all right. Yeah, immediate Arcana check on that.
You can roll with advantage because
nice.
it's your deal.
Sweet, and I have a base +5, so that's an 8. So I'm glad I have the advantage. 19.
19.
Much better.
This is, first off, it's not dangerous, right?
Good.
The only enchantment that you can tell that's kind of on it is it's set to light up to a specific command or condition.
Okay.
And they hand it to you, and they go, I need you to understand that this next mission is putting me in great danger. More danger than I've ever been in before. That crystal you have, I have one similar. And they hold one. Same color, same cut. They put it in the pocket. This expedition will take years. Long con. If at any time that crystal of yours lights up, know that my life hangs in the balance.
Okay. Just one simple question. Why on earth are you asking me to do this? I'm flattered in a sense, but I haven't been in the field for years. Just many questions. Please explain one of them, at least.
They kind of chuckle. And they go, huh. You're Captain Bana. I trust you more than I trust most in the Masmas.
No one remembers you after you're gone, right?
Unless I want them to.
Fine, so I can feel comfortable saying this. Maybe I was Captain Bana. It's been a while since I felt comfortable with that title.
Even though you've been off the saddle for quite some time, you are one of the only people that I can guarantee that if you see that crystal light up, you'll do something about it.
Adrian pauses again for a long moment, kind of just thinking to himself, and then just says out loud, again, more for his own benefit than anyone else in the room, he goes, oh, you're right. Yep, that is true. I almost wish it wasn't, but it is.
Indeed it is. Goodbye for now. Hopefully, if things go well, you'll see me on Cazilorian soil. And they leave. And you don't remember what they looked like. You just remember what they told you.
After they step out of the room, I immediately just lean down to Amphis, who I assume is still on the ground. I'm like, God, I wish you could talk. What? Who? You're going to have a lot of explaining to do at some point, little friend.
He's just vibing, man. He's just vibing, and he slithers back up on you and goes back to his normal spot.
Okay. He steps out of the room, goes back slowly to the training area, goes, and now to come up with an excuse to tell Vera why I left that in a hurry.
And we go back to the top of the initiative order with Ari, who fires an anchoring arrow. It hits. It does some damage and actually gets us over a threshold. They're counting the hits, and this giant now has one quote-unquote death blow. But as this giant gets hit, and they take an anchor point as well, they just go, damn! How many was that? 5? And rips off one of their flags that's on their necklace. Baba Booey, Winnie!
Okay, where is the drop off the citizen point? Is
Back
that the
where
purple
you
box?
came.
Okay, so he can just turn around?
Yes, absolutely.
Alright, so let's see, how close can I get? Yeah, I'm going to run interference, and I just say, two can play at that game, Blue. And fire an arrow at him.
Go ahead, roll to hit.
Please. That's an 18 on the die.
That will definitely
That's
hit.
gonna hit.
Go ahead, roll damage.
6 damage.
6 damage.
I think. Oh no, I'm not gonna action surge. That's unnecessary for right now.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not gonna action surge yet. But I don't think I'm not within range of anyone else to give a watchful aid
It's
to. Oh
unfortunate.
no.
It's unfortunate.
Okay, that's my turn.
That's your turn. We move quickly on to the red giant. The red giant is moving. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Running away from this freaky bitch that keeps on making him see things. And using its only attack to once again try and grab RG. And, he started his turn in the Toxic Spore Cloud. Hold on. We got to roll. Con save. Succeeds. Okay. Goes over. Cool idea. Didn't work. And he's going to try to grapple you. Opposed check, RG. You got to beat. Son of a bitch. A 6. You're muted.
I was aware, but that's a 19.
You
to
are
beat.
totally fine. Moving quickly on. It is Lexi's turn. He sees the giant bounding to play interference with him. We're humans. We're much more quick and nimble. He just turns around. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Dash action. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. He is flying back to the gates. He tosses... RG, you used your Watchful Aid already, right?
I did, yes.
Yes. He tosses you another Watchful Aid, so you have a d6 to add to any climbing maneuver or a post check or whatever. That's his entire turn. That's his bonus action as movement. Moving quickly along. RG, it is your turn.
Climbing maneuver once again.
Climbing maneuver.
Okay. That's, what do I add for climbing maneuver again?
It'll be acrobatics or athletics.
Yes.
Whichever's higher.
Okay, that's a 13
All right.
on the climbing maneuver.
Giant's going to roll that opposed check. Fails. You get up to the top, and you still have an action, and there's only one red flag on the necklace around this giant's neck, and you have a Watchful Aid. All you need to do is hit.
Let's get this death blow, please. Do I have to decide to do Watchful Aid before I know?
You can do it
'Cause I
after.
got a 13 to hit.
A 13 will hit.
Heck yeah.
A 13 will hit. You tell me how you cut this flag, how that looks.
Permission to get a little stylish with it.
Get a
for
little
cinematic
stylish with
purposes.
it. Of course.
All right. So RG is kind of scrambling across this giant as he's trying to grab him and get him off.
Yes.
At some point, the giant doubles over trying to get RG on the back of his calf. RG jumps off of his back, grabs the stem of the mushroom on the left ass cheek, aforementioned, does sort of, in Jurassic Park, I think it's 3, where the girl does the spinny maneuver with the bar.
Yeah.
We do that same spinny maneuver to vault up, and when the giant stands back up, we're on his neck, and we do the killing blow on the way down.
Amazing. And obviously, you're not actually killing this guy.
We cut the necklace on the way down.
You cut the necklace on the way down, and the giant goes, "Oh, I've fallen!" and lays down. And you are now safely on the ground next to one giant who is disposed of. Baba Booey, Baba Booey. You're one of the few people to even get one of them. The crowd goes fucking crazy. This looks fantastically good for you. You see your grandpa in the stands like, "Yes, Archie! Yes! Use those gifts! Yes!"
Archie raises his arms, but to the eagle-eyed viewer, he's very clearly trying to keep his knees from buckling.
And I'll say that you land right next to the other flag that fell, and you're holding one in one hand, and you can hold the other in the other hand, waving 2 flags of a fallen giant. Excellent work. Moving on is now the blue giant. He goes, "Damn you quick bastard," and he tries to double back. 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and is met with someone running interference. He's going to try to run right past you using a dash action so you can attack him as he goes. But he just stomps.
Nah, he's good.
He stomps right over you. He doesn't even pay mind to you. So dash action 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Moving quickly along. Since I see Panda is back.
Oh, can I pretend to oh no, I can't get my arrow in the bow fast enough. Oh, I missed my opportunity. Oh no. Oh, damn it, I couldn't get it in.
Yes, absolutely. Actually, really quick, RG, I want you to roll me a performance check with advantage for your last antics.
Let me break down one of my old die. Maybe they'll be motivated to perform now that I have more than 2 sets of dice. It wasn't, but that's okay. The new die came into play, so that's 15.
Hell yeah! The crowd is eating up your shit. They don't even notice that your knees are trying not to buckle. They just see you raise those flags and just go fucking nuts. Cutting away to Jeremiah. You guys are all loaded up in a carriage, and you are headed southbound right now to
Indeed.
your location. All these teenagers are kind of in your little carriage, just kind of sitting there, and one of them goes, the one you talked to in the cafeteria, kind of goes, "So, where exactly are we going?"
Well, it's a little bit into what would be considered enemy territory. It's someplace that most people aren't going to try to look.
An enemy territory? And you see other teenagers' ears kind of perk up at that.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of off of the beaten path. And it's in an area that needs to be patrolled.
Okay.
But not in a place that most towns are located.
Okay.
It is safe and out of the way, but not anywhere that a Masmus agent would look.
All right. I mean, I'll take your word for it, man. I'll take your word for it. And go ahead.
I will say that as we're riding, Jeremiah is kind of filling him in on okay, this is how we're going to survive out here. This is the hard part.
Yeah,
he's getting through here.
Gwen is right there with you, saying listen, we're only gonna stop at night. We're gonna take if we don't have to stop at all, we're not. We're gonna take shifts while sleeping. We're gonna only eat at night. We're gonna only pee. We'll go to the bathroom at night. So if you have to go to the bathroom, you're gonna have to hold it. And just giving the whole rundown.
If I remember correctly, didn't you say that we're actively in the longest peacetime that Masmus we've ever been in? So these guys are fucking enemies. What are you talking about? We're We're safe. What?
It's one of the longer peace times. It's definitely been a few years, which is a blessing in and of
Gotcha.
itself. But it's still like there's a lot of politics involved. There's still like shows of force and
Right.
rogue giants who come by and all this stuff. But you guys have that
Okay.
conversation, and it is a long journey to this sanctuary, like multiple days. Like
Yeah, it's gonna take a long time.
it's gonna take
get
like
there.
4 days to get there.
Yeah.
Moving right along. Ari's gonna move in. Combat is almost over. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Fires an anchoring shot, because that's all she can do. At this blue giant, hits, does damage, and does enough damage to once again get us over a threshold. The blue giant, who's had nothing happening to him this whole time, gets one death blow over here on the blue giant. Whereas the red giant, their death blow is full, so they are perished. Not actually, it's training. Winnie!
I don't like how close this blue giant's getting, so I'm going to try to draw the fire over here.
Okay.
Goodness me, I'm gonna try to go over here.
Yeah, and you can't take a dash action if you want, unless you are hoping to fire.
Ooh, that's a good point. Oh, I can go through him,
You
right?
can go through him. He'll get an attack of opportunity.
Ah, shoot, you're right. I don't want that.
Don't want that.
But I do want to put distance between us. Oh man, this is actually a little bit difficult.
A little bit.
I'm gonna move over here. I'm gonna use my 60 feet of movement to move over here
All right.
and take a shot at him.
Go for it. Go.
What a time to not hit, right? That's gonna hit anyway.
It's going to hit. Roll damage on that bad boy.
That's going to be 7 damage.
Seven damage.
And I think I am within range for Ari.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and
Roll me an insight check.
insight check. Okay,
check.
insight.
Check.
That's a nat one.
Ari.
Okay, never mind. Go ahead. Go ahead. You don't know shit about this. You hate this place.
Yeah, I'm gonna give her a watchful aid and say, Ari, cut him off at the 2 boulders so he can't get to Lexi. We're almost there.
You got it. And Red Giant is done. Lexi. I think Lexi might be too far gone here. Dash action. You already know the deal. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100, and 20 more feet of movement, and he will get all the way there. And Bugly Scruggs come over the announcement and go, "They have done it! The hostage has been rescued! Give it up!" And the crowd goes crazy. And now, for the sake of time, we're going to fast track this sort of end of the episode. You guys performed fantastically. I mean, you were able to bring down one of the giants. You were able to throw your bodies in front of the giants to play interference. It just went great. And fast forwarding to the end of the tryouts, Winnie, before you leave, Lexi asks if he can have your mailing address so he can write to you over the summer.
Yeah, of course.
Cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
okay, cool.
makes sense.
Cool. And he takes yours, he gives you his, because it's going to take like a month probably to get your results from this day. And he wants to keep in touch. RG and Ari, your grandpa has never looked at you with such pride. Maybe ever. He claps you both on the back, and you're like, and your parents are there too, but you know, when your grandpa's around, they fall to the background. And your grandpa just goes, "You kids did incredible out there. RG, way to use those spores. That's just fantastic. And Ari, you had that giant shaking in its boots. Truly amazing." And it's just really gassing you up. How does that make RG feel?
RG is in a crazy state of euphoria right now. He truly did not think it could go this well, but he did his cool acrobat shit and got the killing blow on a giant, and his grandpa is so proud. He is trying desperately not to, he's welling up with tears, trying desperately not to, like, yeah, take the win. Be cool.
Take that win. Take that win with pride, kid. Tell you what, tonight, we're going out to eat. Wherever you want. And,
Anywhere but the sushi place.
and we fade away from that. Baina, you and Highblade Vera leave, except you get, she follows you everywhere, but you basically get an opportunity to go home, get some shit, pack, and go straight to Calum Heights, the location of the Masmus Training Academy, because very soon you will have to pick or get assigned a bunch of new recruits to turn
Yes, I wondered
into
who
a
they'll be.
deadly squad.
Can I add something that he does in the meantime real quick?
Yes.
The crystal that I was given, how big? It's fairly small, I would imagine, right? Like
It could fit in
in
your
a
pocket.
hand.
It could fit in your
Okay.
pocket, yeah.
If you're cool with this, while he has downtime in like that month, he's going to embed that into Amphis, like at the
Yeah.
back, sort of. I don't know if neck is the right word for a snake, but like at the base of the head,
Yeah.
very subtly, just in the midst of all the purple crystals, there is one tiny little spot of red that will be noticeable to him. So that
Incredible.
crystal will be there, and he will see it like on his person if that ever goes off.
Incredible. You can absolutely do
He's
that.
pissed that he has it. He does not want to have that thing.
Now,
But when the Forget-Me-Not said you're going to do something about it, he was like, God damn it.
you're absolutely right.
Yes.
Now, it would be a pretty short tale if our players here didn't get accepted into the Masmus. So we kind of already know that's going to happen, a month later. We don't need to see that. But something that does happen a few days later, as we come back in to the carriage of Jeremiah and Gwen and all these teenagers. They are about as far west as you can get. They are branching into sort of the border between Cazilor and Etraria is blurred, but they are definitely deeper in than most people will ever go. And I'd say you're probably, Panda, you're probably about 10 miles away, 20 miles away from your destination. Like, you're
Got it.
almost there.
Almost there.
You currently are manning the horses. Gwen is sleeping. People are sleeping. It's the middle of the night.
Got it. Are we posted up like in a camp? Or are
No,
we
you
still
are
in
riding
the caravan?
right now.
Riding. Got it.
And that is when you see it. Motion coming from the tree line. And you can't tell any descripting figures because it's a new moon. And it's cloudy.
Got it.
And it's dark. But you see undeniably the silhouette of a giant.
I immediately stop the horse. I immediately stop the horse. His whole caravan comes to a screeching halt. And I like tap Gwen, and I'm like, "Hey,
What?
time to go.
What? What's happening?
Action,
Action? Okay.
action."
I'll man the carriage. You take care of it like you always do.
Got it.
She gets on
Jeremiah.
the horse, or she mans the horses. I assume you get out.
Yep, I get off of the carriage and I start walking towards the tree line.
The grass here is really tall. It probably comes up
Yeah.
to like your waist.
Got it. I am taking very, very slow breaths. I'm not on a horse because I can see that there's a giant there, but I know that giants expect you to be barreling in on a
Yeah.
horse. I'm taking very small, short breaths, preparing myself just in case, but I'm not gonna go crazy yet. But I'm gonna start walking towards it just in case it's not what I think it is.
You approach.
Okay.
Again, it's so dark. It's so dark. The giant, the silhouette of it, suddenly, like, sharply turns, and you see its shoulders go broad, so you can tell it's facing directly you. And he just
Got it.
goes, "Hey!"
I hear it talk, and I reach behind me and pull out my climbing axe. And I stand still for a second to just wait and see if it is actually referring to me.
He takes one step forward. Goes, "You're not supposed to be here."
Got it. Immediately, those slow breaths I was taking, I was preparing for a rage.
Got it.
Barbarian rage immediately, and this would work really good if we had a camera, but I let go of the climbing axe and drop it down to the end of the chain that's attached to it,
Yes.
and immediately swing it over my head and hook the highest point of the giant that I can get on it.
At this point, you are in a rage. Everything else fades away.
Yep,
You're
just
in
seeing
one-on-one combat with a giant. You hear
Yep.
things. You hear shouting. It doesn't register. You fly up this giant and brutalize it. It falls dead in under 10 seconds. You just fly up, slit its throat, and ride its body like a tree falling in a forest to the ground.
Yep.
It lands. And immediately afterwards, as you're collecting your bearings, you get tackled by about 3 to 4 people in military police uniforms. Masmis military police uniforms. And this older gentleman walks up as you're struggling on the ground and being restrained. And he goes, "Ah, you dumb bastard. You just killed a Masmis knight. Anything to say for yourself?"
He's still in a rage. So the only thing that's going to happen is he is going to lurch at the older guy and get about 2 inches from his face. Like, my arms are, I'm assuming, being held back, but
Yeah.
immediately, like, jump up as hard as I can and
Yes.
only be restrained by the people who are holding me.
You lurch.
Immediately try and get in
You
his
get
face.
close to him. He backs up and goes, "Oh!" And then you are brought all the way to the ground by, like, more people come on you. It's 4v1. And he goes, "Got some life in you, huh? Yeah. You really thought you'd get away with this shit forever? Welcome to the golden era, you fucking crank." And he lifts up his foot and stomps your lights out. And everything goes black. And that is where we will end episode 1 of Tales from Cazilor, the Golden Era. If you made it all the way through, we greatly appreciate you. We will now be heading to go record the after show, which is Patreon exclusive. Once again, the free one-shot with level 3 squad roll abilities and giant fighting mechanics is available at nathanapollo.com. This Wednesday, if you're seeing it on YouTube, it's already available. Please go play test it this weekend. Tell us, give us feedback. We have a form there you can fill out. This went way longer than I thought it would, so I have to work on my pacing. But
Editing will get some of that.
I will see, hopefully, all of you and more, because you'll recommend this shit to your friends, next week for episode 2. Goodbye.
We'll see you then. Thanks for watching.